What in the actual fuck? So how do... So how's it that I still don't have permission? You don't have permissions to use any commands from Craig. I mean, there's no blackouts, but it's just like I still like to... Still gotta wait then. Who the hell is that? Hey, Kyle. That sucks. Well, apparently I don't have Craig permissions. That's so weird. I mean, I still have Spreaker, so... What's a boo? I'm just waiting for the boys to get here. I just got this weird feeling over me. Like, right, I don't know, like, maybe like a few minutes before I came on, I just got this, like, weird feeling. Like, I can't really describe what it is. I don't know if it's good or bad, but I don't know. But, yeah. Good thing I'm off tomorrow. I have a dental appointment. Anything but work. So I only saw a little bit of AEW tonight. The only part that really meant anything was Rob Van Dam coming out. And yeah, coming out to not really Pantera, according to John Draper. He had to correct me. It was the ECW version of Pantera. But it was still cool. Oh man, I didn't get a lot of sleep last night. I got about maybe 3.5 hours of sleep. And then literally right when I woke up, I was waking up to get ready for work. That's when the wife was going to sleep. Because she knew she was off. She's like, fuck it, I'll just stay up as long as I want. So I don't blame her. I was surprised I didn't take a nap when I got home. Yeah, I actually have the house to myself. So where the hell is Justin? I mean, the show just ended, so I'm assuming he's setting up or going to the restroom or what the fudge. Come on, let's do it, Justin. Yeah, text him. Right. Oh, there he is. Right when I texted you, man, that's when you came on. All right, let me get him in.
Hey, sorry, I was watching the main event and I lost track of time.
Yo.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Okay, I had the audio on mute for some reason.
Yeah. No, I was just saying that I was watching the main event. I got lost track of time. I wasn't thinking they're gonna go over on time, but they went over on time a little bit tonight.
What was the main event?
Sheeta versus Toni Storm.
Oh, that was the main event. Okay, who won?
Sheeta. She just became champion, which is whatever. The division's fucking dead, so
it's a worthless.
Doesn't matter. It doesn't even matter anymore. So.
Yeah, I guess they didn't train enough models in a warehouse, but we'll get to that topic when we cross it. I don't
even know what you're talking about.
Oh, you know what I'm talking about. But we'll get to it. But so let's see. Ruben is going to be here tonight. He's going to be joining us. And of course, I mentioned RJ will be jumping on. I'm assuming he fell asleep, so he'll probably join in late. Ruben's already here, by the way, so let me get him in. Hey, Ruben.
Yeah, what's up?
Not much, man. Just having a little chit chat. What are you up to?
Just wrapping up Dynamite.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, it went a little over, so I was like,
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, especially the finish. It makes sense.
I mean, we'll save it for the show. We'll save it for the show.
Yeah, we got a brand new women's champion. Yay. But RJ will be joining us pretty soon. Hopefully, if he doesn't fall asleep the whole show, but he more than likely he likes to make his. I guess he likes to be casually, or what is it, fashionably late? That's the term. But
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
our boy will be here, but we will just start the show. It's already past 9, so let's do it already. 3, 2, 1. Hey, what's going on, guys? It is 9:04 p.m. Central Time here, and welcome to another episode of The Experience. I'm the host, Drew, and welcome to the Fatal 4-Way. Well, it's almost a Fatal 4-Way, but
we're in a triple threat right now.
we have a triple threat. We're waiting for the fourth man. Who's the fourth man? We'll find out. It's RJ, but I'm Drew, and with me as always,
Justin from Spinebuster Tees and SpinebusterTees.com.
Awesome. And our third man, you can find him on the interwebs, on the Ruben. Jesus fucking Christ! I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. The Ruben Prime podcast, Mr. Ruben Prime.
Yo, what's going on? That's right. I'm on the interwebs, on podcast land. The Ruben Prime podcast, RubenPrimeTV.com. That's where you can find me.
You definitely can. You'll find a lot of that and more. And the fourth man, like I mentioned, will be RJ. He usually likes to be fashionably late, so he will jump in eventually. How are you guys doing?
Good, man. Hey, I can't complain. Life is great. Business is great. So I can't really complain. You came into the shop. Did you came by? It was Sunday. You came by, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, came by Sunday. Hung out for a little bit. So yeah, man. Yeah, appreciate you always stopping by. So
absolutely, man. I gotta support my boy. And
yeah.
Whenever I can, I like to give back and get a little Funko Pop or some merch. I did get a Funko Pop. It was a Rob Van Dam Funko Pop, which
that's kind of ironic on what happened tonight. It's Figure Fate.
Yeah, it's very apropos. So it was a lot of foreshadowing, but it's a dope Funko Pop. I almost got the Eddie Guerrero one, but I was a little strapped for cash. But I will get that eventually. But yeah, man. And of course, Ruben, what have you been up to? How's life treating you?
Oh, life has just been lifing, but I've been, for the most part, just staying low key. Just been studying up. Wanted to change career paths, so I've been, on that path. And we did a show a few days ago. Me and Drew, we did a show. It was really good, and it's on Patreon. If you guys want to listen to it after, of course, you finish listening to this show, listen to the Patreon show if you have $5 to spare. And yeah, besides that, it's just been staying low key. My summer's been pretty low key for the most part, and just trying to study, get my studies up. Yeah,
I legit haven't studied since 2018 when I got my bachelor's. So I've been really wanting to go back and get my master's. It's just a matter of when and how much time I have. So if anything, I'll try and see if I can do like online courses. But yeah, man, I'm proud of you for going after what you want and working your ass off for it. I know you're gonna get that. I know you're gonna get all of what you want and more.
Absolutely.
Thank you, appreciate that. Yeah, the IT field it's something that I've been wanting to pursue, but I figure with the experience, this experience is good. Your show's named The Experience, but the other experience, in the workforce, it's been pretty, it's just been eye-opening, revelating. So I'm just glad to change career paths.
Nice, man.
Yeah, man. Go, again, just keep getting it. We encourage everybody to, as corny as it sounds, just go after what you want. And just fuck all the haters. If you have a goal, Go after it, and don't let anything get in your way. Anything or anyone. So
Absolutely.
I don't condone killing people, but just don't.
No, that's still too extreme. But like you said, don't let anyone or anything stop you from, achieving your goals, following your dreams. Because one of the things that kills a lot of ambition is just the hesitation and waiting and waiting for the right moment. Sometimes you just got to jump in, even if you're not entirely sure. But as long as you have that drive and that thirst for more, I feel like if you want something, you go and grab it. We all want more out of life than what we're getting, and to strive for more isn't a bad thing. And I think that fear, that main thing is fear that just prevents us from just getting to where we need to be. It's just fear can be used as a motivating factor. You got to harness that, take that fear, and just turn into that fuel motivation that you need to move on to the next level. Because it's again, you want more out of life. I know everyone listening here has been in that boat or currently is, in that position. They find themselves in that position. So you gotta take that fear, just absorb it. I know anyone y'all watch Dragon Ball Z, but just take that spirit bomb, just absorb it, take that power,
right,
and just use that and let that be your fuel to to motivate y'all, so that way y'all can ascend and get as much as you can out of life.
Yeah, it's it's the Mamba mentality of Kobe. The job isn't finished yet. Never be satisfied until you're really after, or not after, but you really got what you want out of life. So, but achieve your dreams, people. But that's the message for tonight's show. As far as tonight's show goes, I have a few articles. A big chunk of tonight will be reviewing a show and predicting a show. Reviewing NXT Great American Bash this past Saturday and predicting SummerSlam, which is actually this Saturday. Which is crazy to think about. We're already in August, people. We got about 4-ish months until the end of the year, and it just
crazy, man.
I mean, it's weird because I February and March and April just seem like a blur. It just
for me especially, man, because I was getting prepared to open up the fucking store, and these first 4 months of the store have blown by fast. So I just gave my rent check today to the leasing office. I was like, this is I've already been here like 4 times already. It's like 4 or 5 times already. I'm like, it's like crazy.
Right, man. It's just like the first thing I remember of this year was fireworks going off. And that's literally it. And now, boom, all of a sudden, June happened. And then July happened. And July went by fucking quick.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I just blinked and July just ended. And now we're in August, so.
Yeah, yep.
But then you missed it.
Sorry, I sneezed. But, thank you. But yeah, let's see what this crazy year gives us, or this crazy rest of the year gives us, especially out of the wacky world of professional wrestling. But I have a few news articles. Justin, did you bring any articles?
I have a lot. There's a lot of news that I want to talk about. There's a lot of news out there, so
I think we might have the same.
We should have a couple that'd be mixed matching. So
should I talk about the Vince thing, the Triple H thing, or the Britt Baker thing?
Okay, yeah, but Triple H and Britt Baker thing. Okay,
something Triple H said, something Britt Baker said to kind of cover her ass on something she said, and then a Vince thing.
Yeah, I didn't have any Britt Baker. I mean, I know what you're talking about, but like I didn't really deem that worthy of conversation. But yeah, sure, let's talk about whatever.
All right, let me do the Britt Baker thing. So, Britt Baker. In an interview with the Washington Post back in 2021, Britt Baker had commented on WWE CEO Nick Khan's comments about WWE's plans to refrain from signing any independent wrestlers going forward. Britt Baker explained a quote she felt was taken out of context from an interview she did in 2021. She originally said, "I don't think putting a bunch of models and athletes off the street in a warehouse and teaching them all to do the same thing the same way at the same time is going to create a successful roster. People learn differently and they have different strengths and weaknesses, and sometimes you have to find out what those are on your own." A troll account on Twitter recently called her out for this, making note of several successful young females in WWE who have been recruited following their stints in the Indies. Responding to the troll, Baker stated that her quote was taken out of context and clarified her thoughts on the matter. She said, "The quote is out of context and incomplete. It's from 2021 when WWE stated they would stop signing indie wrestlers and focus on pro athletes. I think most pro wrestlers would tell you how valuable the independent wrestling circuit was to their development. And multiple girls you listed all came from the indies. It wasn't a dig at the PC, it was in support of independent wrestling." So it's one of those things where it's like she's right about one thing, but she's not telling the whole truth about the other thing. But I'll let one of y'all kind of go over this. Who wants to start?
I really don't really care for this story. I'm just being honest. Like, I really don't care for this story. Just because anybody interviews can be taken out of context. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if I were to say that, John Cena is not one of the greatest of all time, right? And you just see that in a quote, people will probably think, "Oh, you hate John Cena." Well, no, I'm just saying that he's not one of the greatest of all time. Like, I still think he's great, but just in my personal opinion, I don't think he's one of the greatest of all time. And I really don't think that. That's just an example. I really do think John Cena is one of the greatest of all time, but that's just an example. But, like, things could just be taken out of context in interviews, especially if we're reading it. We're reading it how we want to hear it versus... And if it was... I don't even know, was it an actual interview where we can hear her speak? Like, was it an actual interview, or was it just, like, on words on paper?
Just says this on the Washington Post. It might have been
Washington Post, so it wasn't like a live interview where we hear how she said it, what the cadence was, so that's just like to me, like, it's, you know, I mean, like, it's kind of like reading a text message. That's why I hate doing text messages and shit like this, because it's like, you know, it could read like, you know, "Hey, you shouldn't do that," or "You shouldn't do that." Like, it just depends how you read something and how you interpret it. But to me, though, I mean, you know, at the end of the day, I mean, who really cares? I don't really care about this story. I mean, she could think what she want to think. I mean, it's not gonna change my opinion on Britt Baker. You know, I mean, as far as a talent or a wrestler or whatnot. You know, I think she's okay. I mean, I don't love her, I don't hate her, but it's just like, you know, reading or hearing about this doesn't really, you know, change my opinion. Now, you know, probably there's some things that she probably is right about, but there's probably some things that she's wrong about too as well. So, you know, that's just my opinion on it, though. So,
I mean, I think indies do help. I mean, exposure always helps. I mean, with WWE. The one, again, just, I hate to shit on AEW so much. I kind of have to. It's in my nature. But, like, the one advantage that, you know, WWE, you know, really has is just resources, and they're able to get everyone on television and get them exposure and get them to live, you know, the live TV or house shows, so that way they can learn how to work the crowd and, you know, get better. Whereas AEW
has that as well. People just don't watch it. But they still get exposure to a live crowd.
They don't have house shows, though.
I mean, they're not doing house shows. They don't have to do house shows, but that's what the indies are for. You know what I mean?
I think they should have house shows, so that way the crowd can get better.
I mean, yeah, but think about it too as well. I mean, like, you know, house shows cost money, and I'm thinking that once and they do some house shows too as well. Just they do the AEW house rules. So I think they only done like a couple so far. So,
I mean, Tony has all this money to buy, songs and another show. I mean, granted, that was the network that brought the show, but like, you telling me Tony can't afford house shows?
You know how much it costs to run a house show?
I don't.
Okay, so how can we determine if he has enough money for it or not? I just don't think and honestly as well, like AEW, like you see AEW, they go to like the same markets over and over and over again. Well, if they start doing house shows and they start going to different markets, you know what I mean? It's who knows that they may not draw as well.
I don't know. According to Tony, they draw pretty well overseas, but I don't know.
I'm not talking about overseas. I'm talking about domestically. If they're doing house shows, they're going to be doing domestically.
I don't know. He seems to think that they do a lot better, but I don't know. Just personally to me, I think they need house shows so that way the talent can get better. I mean, especially with Britt, just personal opinion. Personal opinion.
Do you think that things like Rampage? I mean, I know we don't watch it because the shows are not, but like things like Rampage and ROH, that's not good enough. Even though they're in front of live crowds and they're getting like their version of TV time.
2 to 3 days out of the week, I don't think is enough, especially for talent that's been there longer, because like they need more exposure. Especially someone like Britt, who's gotten progressively worse over the years, especially since she got her push. But I digress. But Ruben, what do you think of all this?
I mean, the whole Britt Baker thing, I saw the ending of the match, and it was just horrendous. And just her trying to...
Oh, yeah, that match last week? That was a bad match. That was a bad match.
It was really bad. Like, no excusing. And it's just funny that she brought up, well, I mean, yes, this quote, can be taken out of context, but...
Yeah.
It just goes to show that for all the shit that a lot of the, anti-WWE people, and WWE, granted, they're not perfect, they're not all sunshine and rainbows,
right?
But they do benefit from having a performance center. We see the good that comes out of having a performance center, and for someone like Britt Baker to say, well, we don't need a bunch of models, just hiring models off of the street and whatnot. Like, I mean, look at NXT, the current NXT that we have, like a good crop of that talent. They're getting exposure not only on live TV every Tuesday night, but with the live events, the house shows, I think they do house shows, but
oh yeah, they do. Yeah. They do them every weekend, pretty much. NXT,
and it helps because they need to get comfortable in with crowds and also when you do house shows, and we've seen like a lot of the main roster house shows that they will do a lot of the matches that we'll see on TV or on pay-per-views, right. And what they do is they help prepare. Getting comfortable, getting that ring chemistry in. They can, experiment when they do the house shows, and that's an advantage. And I think AEW can benefit from having house shows. And I know they have in the past, but the attendance was low due to the fact that, well, they're charging an arm and a leg. Yeah. And I think that Warner Brothers Discovery is asking for a return on investment since they're giving all this money to Tony Khan and AEW, and they're trying to see their money back. So it's with house shows, I think without a doubt they have its place for the reasons I stated. And as far as the whole Britt Baker thing, yeah, things can be taken out of context, but I think that she shouldn't be talking considering she's gotten worse. Like Drew mentioned, she's gotten progressively worse, and I was one of the ones that became a fan because of her, her heel work, her mic work. But when it comes to wrestling, she's gotten she's gotten worse and worse and worse. Like, she just goes out there and sandbags on purpose, I think. Just in my opinion. And it's just no excusing what she does in the ring, and B, her behavior outside the ring. We don't need to go any further than Thunder Rosa. And at first, we were hearing people saying that, well, it's Thunder Rosa, she's hard to work with. But now we're kind of saying, we're leaning towards more Britt Baker is the one that's hard to work with. And just the elitism that's there. And it's not a new thing. It isn't anything new with, whole politics and elitism, no pun intended, in the locker room. It's just how it's always been. And it is something that has to change, but I don't foresee that because, again, Tony Khan's the boss. He's the one that signs the checks at the end of the day. He is supposed to be the boss. He's supposed to be the leader, and he hasn't. And you're gonna continue to get so much of what we've been getting in terms of the news, all the drama from backstage. So, We'll see.
Let me ask a question. So,
sure.
Let's see. So I agree, 100%. I agree. Britt is a problem, right? She hasn't been getting better in the ring, right? But put that to the side for a second. I got two things here. Number one, AEW has less resources than WWE.
True.
They only been around for 4 years, right? So that's why a lot of these talents, they go out, they do indie bookings so they can get more, either A, more money, but also B, more practice as well.
Yep.
Girls like Britt Baker, the top girls, they feel like they don't need that practice, right? If you're in AEW, you can, like, pretty much anybody can work anywhere. Like, freaking MJF went to go work at not House of Glory, but Creator Pro, which is ran by Brian Myers.
Yeah, his trainer.
Yeah, exactly, right? He went to go work a show, I guess a couple weeks ago, 3 or 4 weeks ago, something like that, and he had a match as AEW World Champion. So the fact that, anybody, if you're a top person, you shouldn't go work anywhere else. No, go out, go get work in, try to get a little bit better. But Britt, she's comfortable. She feels too comfortable right now. That's number one. Number two, when it comes to the whole backstage drama shit, I can tell you from a, we'll just say source, that it is real. It's a real thing going on. I don't know much about it, but I can tell you that this is not, kayfabe, not storyline. This is a completely real thing. And number three, Britt Baker, right? She has progressively gotten worse, but who's to blame for that?
Tony and her.
There you go. Because he doesn't treat his women's division as a potential top draw.
I mean, another thing is just like Tony doesn't want to be a boss. Like he wants to. He wants.
Oh well, yeah. Well, I mean, we talked about that.
Yeah.
I mean, we talked about that nice. But like behind all that too, as well, is like, how can you bring in Saraya Paige, who was one of the top women's acts in WWE, and now she's just an afterthought. Ryan Sterling on TV is like remember, she retired and she couldn't wrestle no more. She was in WWE and WWE found something for her as a GM or whatnot, and she still felt as a big name. She has a fucking movie made about her, right? That The Rock directed, produced it, whatever. And now she's in AEW. Pop was big when she got there, and now it's like she's just another person. She's not even top 5 biggest women on that roster right now. That's a fucking issue, right? So I don't think, I don't want to blame Britt. I blame Tony because he doesn't treat his women's division as a fucking, a real legit thing. Britt's getting worse in the ring, but how many times has she fucking wrestled either? How many times has she been booked?
The-
Could it
the-
be because she doesn't want to be booked because her and Tony are close buddy, and she's like, hey, I don't want to work. That could be that too.
The blame goes around. Is that fair to say the blame goes around?
Yeah, it can be, but I'm saying what I'm saying is that I'm putting it on Tony Khan because he is the boss. He's the boss. He should be like, hey, you're working this match. Hey, I'm not seeing, like, he can be honest. Like, you can be honest with people and not hurt their feelings. Hey, Britt, you know what? Your last couple matches, it hasn't been really too good. Like, we need to see some improvement here. What do you need from us to help you? Like, don't try and make it like I'm out to get you. Try and make it like a partnership and be like, hey, what can we do to help you out, make you better or whatnot? So, at the end of the day, this women's division is god awful terrible. It's the worst thing about AEW is this women's division, right? There's a few little, bright spots in the women's division like Sky Blue and Willow Nightingale, and there are some bright spots there. But and we did this last week, Drew, when we said who has more momentum, less momentum, and we went to AEW women's division, and most of them went down by default because of the booking of the division, so it's pretty bad, man. The rumors of like Mercedes coming in. If I'm Mercedes, if I'm Sasha, whatever you want to call her, me seeing this AEW women's division has being booked, I wouldn't want to go there unless it's like for like one payday, sure, have one match, sure. Or maybe two matches, sure, but like outside of that being signed to AEW, like no, not at all. But at the end of the day, though, it's not everything's perfect about AEW. I actually enjoy Dynamite tonight, and there's a lot of good things going on with AEW right now. But the women's division is by far the worst thing going on.
Continuing the topic, so Lufisto, if anyone knows who that is, big name in the indies.
Yep.
She put up a tweet saying, "It's cute how people blame booking for a bad women's division. Talent with too much power, talent denigrating each other, talent trash talking potential employees so they never get in as soon as they walk in. It starts here. The one you called effing French-Canadian asshole." Asked to name names by a follower, Lufisto replied, "This is the first time I say something publicly after over a year. I'm not going to throw names on an app with limited characters. There are several details and a context to explain the whole story with accuracy, which I'll do when the opportunity arises." She also quote tweeted someone who said she'd ruin her chances by becoming an AEW employee to say, "No worries, no need for such a toxic environment in my life."
I mean, again, that comes back to Tony Khan. I get what she's saying. I understand what she's saying, but that comes back to Tony Khan having control of his fucking locker room.
Right. I mean, you're letting the mean girls dictate who you hire because someone made Britt mad. It's similar, but it's also kind of off topic. When supposedly the reason why they never brought in the Briscoes was the network was mad at I forget who, the one who made the stupid tweet from years ago.
It was Jay,
and then supposedly the Young Bucks didn't want to bring him in either. It's, again, just allegedly. I say allegedly. But, just, again, Tony Khan needs to keep his house in order. I mean, we say this ad nauseum. It's like, the boy who cried wolf. But
yep.
When it's going to happen, I don't know. Unfortunately,
I don't think it's going to happen, unfortunately. Sorry to cut you off, but I don't think it's going to happen because the thing is with this company, they preach about everyone being, everyone getting a fair shot, but then when you really boil it down, it's the same shit, the same status quo. Only the small handful of people get all the shots, they get all the opportunities, and they can gatekeep, and we're seeing that. So all this talk of, hey, we're inclusive, we're gonna have everyone get a shot, it's like, no. Like, when I heard that, when I see that air quotes being said, I call BS, just because of the fact that we're seeing what we're seeing, being translated on TV and all the backstage drama. And I think that Tony Khan is not going to be a leader. He's a mark, like MJF said. He's a mark. Well, fucking mark. But he's a mark. He is not going to separate the markdom from being, businessman. Because at the end of the day, what's the end goal of a business is to make money, to turn a profit. And in the wrestling business, it's part of it, which, is the most important part. It's making money. And if you're not about making money, just about having it be all elite friends, all friends wrestling, then you're not going to last long. I mean, they're doing well for themselves. I mean, I'm happy, but these problems will, grow and grow and grow. And essentially the honeymoon phase is over. Now it's not essentially sink or swim, but now we're starting to see, you're starting to see the cracks in the foundation. The concrete has dried. Now, we had a few winters, a few summers, lots of moisture coming in and cracked the cement. Now we're starting to see, okay, we're seeing issues here, we're seeing issues there. And what makes a good leader is someone that is able to make those hard decisions, those quick decisions that he may not want to do, but has to be done just for the greater good of the company. But he's not going to do that because he wants everyone to get along. And I want the yes man. Like, hey, I'm cool. I'm going to share my Coke with you. Because look at Tony Khan when he was making that announcement. Like, just doped up. Anyway, you
were talking about cola, right?
Huh?
You were talking about cola, right? When you said Coke.
Yeah, Coca-Cola.
Okay.
Yeah, Coca-Cola. Yes, that Coke.
Uh-huh.
that Coke. I mean,
Jake just goes up to him and goes, "I don't need this anymore."
Yeah, it's. I'm telling you that there's potential for him to be a good leader, but just the fact that he is a mark. And we're seeing all the issues. Like in WWE, we won't see that. Yeah, we'll hear like a few disagreements, maybe like a argument or two, but that's usually squash because there are actually people in there that, hey, this thing called being an adult, and you have to be responsible for your actions and share the consequences of those actions. And it seems like here it's not the case. It's just, well, someone did something I didn't like, so we're gonna, just, put shade on them. We're gonna cast shade. We're gonna make it to where it's gonna be in a really, really terrible work environment. And we're seeing that. I just hope that things get better with that company. But I mean, with the person in charge, we'll see. I don't think so personally. I'll let to be proven wrong, but with all this, hoopla with the drama backstage, it's like it's a pattern. When you recognize patterns, it's like, oh, okay, it's not just an isolated incident. So we'll see.
So speaking of AEW, Cody Rhodes, the Cody Rhodes documentary, Becoming Cody Rhodes, premiered on Monday. It's like an hour and a half, like an hour 40, hour 50. I thought it was gonna be like a mini series, but it's like a legit like movie documentary to watch, and it was pretty good. Kind of told us what we already knew, but didn't know. Cody was very honest about how miserable he was, towards the latter part of his, first WWE run, especially after he became Stardust. He talked about, getting over, as dashing Cody Rhodes, and then as, ugly Cody Rhodes, handing out the paper bags, which that was fucking great. I love when he did that. And what do you do after that? And then shortly after that, he teams with Dustin, to win the tag titles. And then it's just after that, this glass ceiling. Like, he reaches glass ceiling, essentially, with creative, and then they turn him into Stardust, which originally they wanted, I guess they're showing him designs that look like vastly different than what we ended up getting. And then Cody's just like, they basically just made me into mini Goldust. Which I just remember that. I'm like, so what's different about this? He's literally just Goldust, but different. But the one story he told that I thought was kind of fucked up was like, he said, towards the end of his run, like he was just so tuned out that like after house shows or even after like TV shows, he would get like this like thermos and like fill it with vodka and Gatorade and go to the monitor and just drinking in front of Vince and Bruce Pritchard and Triple H, just like in his mind he's like, subconsciously, I kind of hope I get fired because I don't just want to quit. Like that's just fucked up. And then of course, he ends up going on to doing what we already know. The big story coming out of it, well, I mean, it's one of those things like it's a big story, but it's not really, but it's an interesting quote, was Cody talking about AEW. There's a lot of AEW talk on this documentary, surprisingly. And, they say AEW by name. And
I mean, you can't ignore it,
Right, but it's not like TNA where it's like they have a documentary about Booker T and they go, and then he left, and then he came back. Same thing with Kurt Angle.
Yeah, but AEW is like the biggest competition in WWE since WCW. So
right. I mean, not according to
since WCW, there hasn't been a bigger competition than AEW.
We'll see what Triple H has to say. So Cody Rhodes, Cody, doesn't really delve too much into what happened. For obvious reasons. I'm pretty sure for legal reasons. He said, "I won't really get into what happened, but I left for because of a personal issue. The byproduct of me leaving AEW is to go after the biggest and first dream I ever had in my life." To which Triple H responds, "It's taking that gamble again and saying I don't grow up dreaming of becoming the champion or face of a secondary promotion." End quote. To which obviously, Tony Khan had to reply and talk about how AEW is amazing and it's great and demos and blah, blah, blah. So we got RJ in. RJ, what do you make of this, of Triple H's comments?
It's nothing.
Right.
It's nothing. What is he supposed to say? Oh, AEW so number one. Yeah, of course your goal is to win the AEW World Championship. He's supposed to put over his company. Same thing with Tony Khan. Like, as a boss and as an owner and whatever, as a leader, whatever you want to call yourself, whatever title you want to label yourself, as a head of a company, you want to put your company over. I see nothing wrong with anything that neither guy said. Like, I don't see anything wrong with any of that. You want to defend your company. You want to believe in your mind that your company is the best. So I see nothing wrong with what Triple H said, and I don't see nothing with what Tony Khan said either. I see nothing wrong with what either guy said.
So
I 100% agree. I 100% agree. It's like,
right.
Like, to me, AEW is not a secondary company. Like, it's not better than WWE. It's not better than WWE. But like, if boys and girls are getting paid just as well as what they could in WWE, that's not a secondary company. You know what I mean? It may not be the company. It may not be the top company. But if you're getting exposure to potentially millions of people, right? Obviously, they're not getting millions of people seeing them every week. But, and you're getting like toy deals, with action figures and shit and video games, just within your first 4 years, you're not a secondary company.
Right.
They've done a whole lot more than TNA's done in, 20 years?
And that's the reason why I said, since WCW.
And I agree with what you're saying.
Yes,
because
WCW, AEW.
They're putting out the company. They're putting out the content.
Yeah.
Like you said, the toys. And I for whatever it's worth, I think AEW's figures are better than WWE's figures. That's just me speaking. I have a whole bunch of AEW figures, and I think they're just better detailed, better packaged than the WWE ones. The WWE ones are.
We can debate about that another time.
All right, and that's fair. But I just feel like their figures are better.
Oh yeah, no, they got some great figures for sure.
But yeah, I just think that secondary. I get what he's saying. They've been around for the longest. The WWE Championship has more lineage, especially until guys around our group age. You know, ECW. We grew up, play wrestling and stuff like that when we were younger. The WWE Championship, or at the least the ECW Championship or the WCW Championship came up. You know what I'm saying? So I understand what Triple H was saying by that to a certain degree, but it's like, damn, dog. You didn't have to say it like that, but nah, like you, in your mind, you're supposed to be number one. You're supposed to have that chip on your shoulder no matter what. I don't get why fans are taking it so personal and melting down.
They don't either.
Do you think Tony Khan really thinks he's secondary? In his mind, he doesn't think so. And like I said before, rightfully so. He would be an idiot to go, oh yeah, I agree, we're secondary.
I mean, yeah, I get it. Right.
I'm Snowman, No, that'd be ridiculous.
I'll say this. At the end of the day, it's professional wrestling, and like, you should want to see a company like AEW be around and be successful. You know what I mean? Like, it gives more options out there. And think about this as well. If AEW is around for 10 years, guess what's going to happen? You're going to have fans growing up who start watching wrestling at, let's say 8 years old, and they're adults technically at 18, and they're like, I didn't really watch WWE, I watched AEW. That's when AEW's impact is going to be like very, very vast and very, very known at that point in time. You know what I mean? And, and if they get another deal with Warner Media, which is most likely going to happen, what's that contract going to be? Like another 5 years? And if that's another 5 years, that means that AEW will be around, if everything goes well, for at least 9 years. At least 9 years. And again, to the point I'm saying, there's going to be kids, that they're going to be fucking adults and just be like, hey, I didn't really watch WWE. I just watched AEW. Or you're going to have some kids like, hey, I watched both. That's the beautiful thing about it to me at the end of the day. So
yeah, exactly, because certain people don't work in WWE.
Yeah.
As long as WWE has this motto of we're going to push a certain amount of people. Now, look, we complain about how WWE stifles people's pushes, especially when they organically get over and stuff like that. Sometimes AEW, to a lesser degree, has that problem. I feel like something's catching fire, and Tony Khan doesn't do anything right away with it. And I'm like, bro, what are you doing? You got some gold right here. But more times than not, he listens to his audience, whether that's good or bad.
Yeah, AEW, they listen to the internet's opinion more than anything else. WWE to a certain extent sometimes as well, but like when the Acclaim started to get hot, guess what? They put the fucking titles on them. You know what I mean? And they took the titles off them and they haven't really been used since. But at least they listened to them for the very hot point of when they were coming up. But I'll say this here, and I'll shut up on this subject here. Like I said, at the end of the day, to me, it's just pro wrestling, right? It's AEW and it's WWE. But the biggest thing to me here is that you got people who are still doing the tribalism thing, and I just don't understand it. I don't understand it. I like to me, I will never understand tribalism. It's okay to, hey, I like WWE more than AEW, or hey, I don't really watch AEW, but I get why people watch it. Like, if you get, or I don't watch WWE, but I get why people watch it. If you can at least, have that sensibility, that kind of side to things, and look at things that way, okay, cool, right? But like, people just flat out blind hating WWE and blind hating AEW. Like, there's this one guy, and I don't mention his fucking name because he doesn't deserve it, and he's a fucking piece of shit. And I'll talk about this when we get into the news. There's some news stories here. There's this one news story that's coming out for potential matches at All In. And he's like, oh, I don't see anything wrong with it. What? You don't see anything wrong with it? Like, you don't see anything wrong with these matches being discussed to be at All In, but I digress.
Are you talking about the Ospreay and Jericho match?
No, not even that one. It's I got it here. I don't want to spoil it yet, but yeah.
All right. Nah, but I think there's pros and cons to having to WWE and AEW both, and I don't know. There's just certain things you root for certain people on the WWE roster, but you know they're never gonna make it. So you kind of root for them to go to AEW so they can have a fighting chance. And that's the pro about having AEW around, because you can't have that second alternative to, WWE. And like I said, certain people aren't going to make it. They have a better chance over in AEW. That's a good thing.
And vice versa too as well. There's some people who are in there's some people in AEW that's like for example Keith Lee,
oh my god,
he'll be a lot better in WWE. Wardlow, I think, will be a lot better in WWE. One person that I'm wrong about, as of right now at least, Swerve. Swerve's doing some amazing shit right now in AEW.
Yes,
if you saw what happened tonight, that was some. That was some
my
shit.
god,
that was
great.
He's good. He's good. I like Swerve. I was like, I can't always be Team WWE. Like sometimes I gotta, say some not so nice things about him. They really didn't know what to do with him. Like I don't know what it was. I know the talk apparently was that it was an attitude problem, but I don't fucking know. But
I mean,
it's just like
honestly, he got fired and let go before Vince left. So no telling what they could have done with them, right? I mean, as we see with Hit Row right now, I kind of think that he'll probably be in that same boat, maybe. So who's to say?
Yeah, but it's just like I remember there was that weird period where everybody just got randomly fired. Like he got fired, Cross got fired, Keith got fired, like a shit ton of other people got fired, and it's just like they literally brought Swerve onto the main roster with his group, and then I think they're
like 3 weeks later they're all gone.
Yeah, they were like barely starting a feud with somebody I'm forgetting, and then all of a sudden they're gone, and it's just like. Yeah, now Swerve's doing good in AEW. They're giving him a push, and it's just like, all right, like follow through with it. Because to kind of piggyback off something you said, Justin. Yeah, AEW, I'll give him credit where credit is due. They do listen, or Tony does listen to his audience. The only problem is, and again, I don't want to say this is 100% Tony's fault. Sometimes it can be the talent's fault. I don't know, who knows? But they don't always follow through with the push. Like they'll push it, and then it's just like, okay, what do we do now? Like the Acclaim.
Better than what WWE does. Sometimes they don't even listen at all. Kind of like what they're doing with LA Knight right now.
Oh boy, don't get me started on that. But yeah, it's just like I don't know. It's like with the Acclaim, they got over, or they organically got over. They won the tag titles, and it's just like, what happened? Wardlow, he got over. He was Goldberg. He was crushing people. Became champion, and then they just fucking ruined him.
Yeah, Tony Khan's he's terrible at the follow up. He's good at the build and getting to to what we want, but the follow up that's his poorest attribute as far as being a booker is the follow up. Right.
Yeah.
But moving on to my last news story before we get to Justin's, Vince McMahon just had successful spinal surgery. He is apparently I use finger quotes, apparently, going to be relieved of his duties on medical leave. When he comes back is not known. Another news story that came out for Vince was law enforcement were executing a search warrant and receiving federal grand jury subpoenas. WWE announced its second quarter 2023 financial results that included several legal notes relating to the 2022 investigation by the board of directors and Vince McMahon. And then the filing notes: federal law enforcement agents executed a search warrant and served a federal grand jury subpoena on McMahon on July 17th, my birthday actually. But no charges have been filed. Russell Notes provided a statement sent out internally by McMahon to WWE employees regarding the situation. Their email read, in 2022, WWE formed a special committee to review allegations of misconduct against me. That review was concluded in November of 2022. Following an extensive investigation throughout this experience, I have always denied any intentional wrongdoing and continue to do so. I am confident that the government's investigation will be resolved without any findings of wrongdoing. I am focused on completing the recovery process from my recent spinal surgery and on closing our transaction with Endeavor, which will create one of the preeminent global sports and entertainment brands. Vince McMahon.
Rawr!
Rawr! No one can kill me!
I can't die, damn it! Oh, Jesus Christ. This guy. Oh my God.
I shoot myself in the dick just to make sure I don't die.
Every time this guy's in the news is for something bad. Good Lord. Oh man.
I totally didn't fuck that secretary, just like I'm not gonna fuck this secretary right now. Arrgh.
Oh my God. Jesus Christ. Well, Vincenzo's gonna be on the show for a while, huh?
Oh yeah.
Vincenzo McManus.
So to me, as of right now, one or two things is gonna happen. Either this is something small and something big is gonna happen with this, or this can be nothing. Now it doesn't really say what the search warrant was for exactly.
Nope.
Could it be for, the story about last year about the secretaries and all that shit? But it seemed like that was already reprimanded. I have this is just speculation. I have no proof. I don't know for sure. But this is just me thinking outside the box of what it could be. Donald Trump's in some shit right now.
Mm-hmm.
He's in some shit.
Yeah.
Maybe this could be doing something with potentially Donald Trump. Because, WWE and Vince McMahon are huge supporters of Mr. Trump. And how Linda, was on his cabinet. Could be something to do with that, possibly. I don't know. Just something to keep out. Just keep an eye out for. You know what I mean? At a 100% chance, it's probably less than 10%. But just keep an eye out for it. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
What's the funny thing is that there's definitely proof that Vince conducted in sexual misconduct, and he's getting investigated due to his relationship, friendship with Trump. So that lets you know, like, what's really, like, what's taking more priority here, like going after someone that's again allegedly done sexual misconduct. So I don't know, it's I think it's just a big nothing burger for me, all honesty, and I think this is just just gotta stay face. But I think that Vince will come out of this
unscathed.
Unscathed, clean. But I think it's just hilarious that just sexual misconduct, but oh my God, relationship. He has a relationship with Trump. Oh my God, just World War III, end of the world. So it is telling. It's very telling. But I think Vince will come out of this unscathed.
Apparently, I'm sorry to interrupt, but apparently also his surgery has been said to be what's the words they use? Life altering.
Yeah,
like life altering. Now, what that can mean is that can mean two things. Either one, it's bad, and he may be may need to use crutches or a walker or whatever the case may be. Could be something like that, or it could be that he was feeling pain for fucking years. Now he's actually a lot better. It could be one of the two things.
God damn it! Now we're never gonna get rid of him.
No, and you know what? No, in all seriousness, there was someone on Twitter saying like fuck when they said his surgery when it was like fuck. I hope he died. I'm like, all right, a little too far. All right, let's calm down a little bit there.
Yeah.
Didn't JD from New York say that?
Nah, he didn't say that. I didn't say
I
that.
wouldn't put it past him.
I wouldn't put it past him either.
Yeah.
If he was gone.
Whoa, Vince McMahon. But yeah. I mean, it's just like the life altering. It's just like at this point, I'm gonna sound like a fucking idiot for even like saying this because when that happens, just why are you still doing this? Like, why are you still running a company?
It's his business. It's his baby.
It's his business, his baby, and he has a huge ego.
It's his family's business. You know?
Nobody's gonna willingly walk away from that.
I mean, like whenever I decide to retire and hope, knock on wood, hopefully my business hopefully my business is still good by then, and I'm a mega enterprise and shit. You know what I mean? I have fucking mini spine buster like they're fucking Walmarts. Hopefully that happens. But in all seriousness, when I retire and I gotta give my business away, or I just close the shop up, it's like, let's say I give my business away, like that's gonna be fucking hard as shit to just let go and just be like, oh, here you go, sonny boy. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't know. It's just like Vince is bulletproof. Like nothing can kill him. Like he's even been accused of racism, and he dropped the N-word on live television, and he still hasn't been canceled. Like nothing can kill Vince.
Hey man,
He hasn't been canceled.
well, you want to know what the. Not funny, but you know what be funny though is if like, let's say like Vince, like he's escaping like prison, and like remember I almost went to fucking prison in 1994 too as well for the steroid trial, like all that shit, right? Like he escaped all this shit.
Oh my god!
Like just all this crazy shit, like the thing with Benoit and Eddie and all the wrestlers that passed away, and the shit that happened with Jimmy Snuka, and just all this crazy shit that happened in his life. It'll just be funny that like he's just like outside, and like he's about to get ready like to grill something or whatnot, and like he steps on a little fire ant. He just has like an allergic reaction and dies right there. Like an ant took him. Ant took out Vince McMahon.
The littlest thing takes him out.
Just be like, oh, you son of a bitch. then has anyone seen Total Recall?
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll just be like Arnold Schwarzenegger with the attitude, with his eyes all bugging out. He's like, you know what I mean? Just dies right there.
Paul, are there peanuts in this smoothie?
Oh man. I guarantee you something like very tiny is gonna take this guy out.
God. It's funny. I mean, I don't want to say funny because I don't want to sound morbid, but it's just like that's probably what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Just the most this goddamn paper cut. Like, oh my god, I mean, I paper cut in years. Then, like, for some reason, like that particularly piece of paper had just a little dose of poisoning on it that came from the factory, and
Oh no!
It'll be something random like that. With just like fuck, man. Like,
Get injected with a lethal dose of poison.
Yeah.
A little dose of poison. But
you know what I mean?
And the NW. Oh. I'm gonna kill it when I create it.
Yeah, or like he has ankle weights on or whatnot, and he's working out like by the pool, and like he's like jumping up and down, and all you hear is like the dog. He didn't know it was outside, barks. He falls in the pool. He just drowns because he has the ankle weights on. Like, just like something random like that. Just like, what the fuck? And now Vince dies. Like, that's crazy.
He has a heart attack during sex with his mistress.
Yeah. Well.
It's like
or he's just reenacting one of his promos, and he's all like, "Life sucks, and then you die."
Like they have an open casket, but the Viagra hasn't worn off.
Jesus!
Oh no! Sir, we can't close the casket. Why? He has to erect in the size of the fucking Eiffel Tower.
You just see Shane. Ew, Dad.
Mrs. McMahon, did you know that your husband was that well endowed? Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
That's why they call him the genetic jackhammer, for God's sakes.
Oh, man.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Look at the size of it.
But, yeah, that's Vince, people. What's going to happen? We're never going to know. But that's all the news I have. Justin, how's about you start talking about the news?
Okay, well, all right. Well, we missed a lot of news stories there. We missed a lot of news stories here. Let me pull them up. Get that out the way. Okay, well, I think the second biggest news out of the day is the Elite. They re-signed multi-year contracts in to stay with the AEW. Also, just going to throw out there, Dark Order signed a new 3-year deal. No one cares about. I mean, if you care about that, great. You know what I mean? But we're not going to.
No one cares about that
there. But yeah, the AEW, the E. And AEW, the Elite, is still going to be signed with AEW for, it says multi-year deals. Didn't say how long it's going to be. So it could be like a 3-year deal or whatnot, or like a, you know, or something like that. So yeah, so honestly, if they would have left, that's like the heart and soul of that company. And like literally they are the E in AEW. That would have really that would have hurt AEW right there for sure, because you would have had a lot of fans. I think kind of I don't want to say jump ship, but like there would have been a lot of fans that would kind of jump ship to wherever they go, right? Especially if it was WWE. But yeah, especially like some of the fans are like splitting CM Punk as well, right? But and also tonight as well. Kind of tying it all together. I wasn't anticipating talking about this, but Kenny Omega during his promo mentioned of like, oh yeah, because they mentioned on TV, oh, we were signed with AEW. You know, we may show up on Dynamite, we may show up on Rampage. Hell, we may even show up on Collision. You know, and they kind of got a pop out of the crowd. So, but how do you guys feel about the Elite re-signing with AEW? Are you disappointed that they are staying, or are you happy for them? What's your opinions? Open forum.
Whoever wants to start.
To me, it really doesn't. To me, it doesn't matter because I'm not fans of these guys, anyways. So, I mean, good for them that they got their money and that they're staying in a place where I guess they're happy to perform and do whatever they need to do. I just do not care about the Elite whatsoever. All 4 guys do nothing for me. I told Monty this on the podcast we did like a couple weeks ago that Omega. I don't know. Omega, I can stomach him on his own, but this whole Elite stuff, it's just, mad corny to me. Not my style, not my thing. I really don't care about these guys. So, but happy for them. They got their money, and, hey, they're going to do what they need to do.
Basically what RJ just said, I have no dog in this fight because I'm not a fan of either. Really don't care about the Young Bucks. I was gonna say Pierce. Adam Page. Again, talented guy, but just a snowflake. He's a snowflake. Plain simple. And Kenny, I can take him or leave him on his own. I mean, I thought it would have. I think it could have been interesting if he came to WWE, see what he could have done. But he clearly wants to stay in AEW, which again, can't shit on him for that. Pretty sure they got some big money out of this deal. So at the end of the day,
they have to, and they're keeping their roles as well. So
which I don't like. Roles. Which I don't like that, but that's another story. But I'm not gonna shit on people for going after money. So good for Tony Khan for keeping them.
Yeah, what Drew said, like, I hate the fact that active wrestlers also have executive positions. To me, that's wrong on so many levels. Like, I don't get that.
Yeah.
Why are these guys still executives? They don't need to be executives, especially when these guys are actively performing and they get to make decisions and judgment calls based off of what they like. Yeah, nah, not a fan of that.
Ruben, what do you
Not a
think?
fan of that.
Yeah, pretty much indifferent. I figured it was gonna re-sign. There was no way that they was gonna go as a group to WWE. So they were gonna re-sign. It was, no, there was no denying that. Like it was only a matter of time that they was gonna re-sign. Omega, I can tolerate Omega on his own. Like alone, I'm a fan of Kenny, but with the group as a whole, it's just very corny. Trying to be DX, NWO, Bullet Club, just not for me. And yeah, like just the fact that they still have their EVP status is kind of ass backwards in my opinion. It's not like you can't be active performers and hold executive positions. So it's just kind of asinine, and it's just it doesn't go well. It doesn't gel well with me that they still have their spots as EVPs. So yeah, they're gonna be in All Friends Wrestling for maybe 3, 4, maybe 5 years. Not surprising. I mean, go where you're gonna get more money. I don't begrudge them for that, but I just don't care. I really don't care.
So I'm gonna play devil's advocate for a second, and a lot of people they're not looking at it this way as well. So the Young Bucks, they value their time, right? I'm just going off based on what they're saying. Like Nick and Matt, they value their time with their family, right? Currently, right now, if they were to go to WWE, they wouldn't have that because of the schedule.
Oh no, I get that because at the end of the day, like if you can, like for example, paint this picture. Let's say you're working at Burger King, and you're getting paid big money, and you're working like 6, 7, or like 5, 6 days out of the week. McDonald's, says, "Hey, we'll hire you and we'll offer you more money, but you can work, half that schedule." You'd be a fool to pass that up. Like you're going to go to McDonald's and make more money and work less days out of the week. So I'm not going to shit on the money. I'm also not going to shit on a schedule that allows you to be around your family more, because I mean I don't have kids obviously, but I have a family. So if I'm able to get a schedule where I can see my family more, if I can see the wife more, hey, awesome. I can't shit on that at all. Good for them.
Exactly.
Good for them for getting that kind of schedule.
Yeah, I agree. Like the same thing. Like go where you're gonna get the best deal. Like I don't begrudge a grown man, especially family man, trying to get the best deal where they can get a good chunk of money, but they also can see their families. I have no issue with that. My issue is with them is just EVP status. And
that was the other thing I was going to bring up as well. So,
yeah.
For the record, I don't think they should have their EVP status. Saying out the front, I do not think they should have their EVP status. But just for devil's advocate, for conversation's sake, I can't really think of a time where they egregiously abused their power.
That we know of.
That we know of, right?
But
like in WCW, it was like apparent for certain situations, like when Hulk Hogan and he's over here like fucking just like destroying everybody and like beating the shit out of fucking Billy Kidman and having fucking Jeff Jarrett lie down and all that shit. Okay, that's one.
Apparently that was a Vince Russo call, but go ahead.
Well, whatever, right? But it started from Hogan exerting his power, right? And like fucking like Kevin Nash being like the booker of WCW and the whole figure Zoom. So anyway, so as of yet, at least, right, or that we have seen, but like even at that, the Young Bucks, they had the titles for a little while, right? But it wasn't like overly egregious. Kenny had the title for a little while, but it was to a bigger story with Hangman, which is to me the best story that they ever done. For AEW so far at least. So but outside of that, they just been doing like random one-off feuds, and they did have the Trios title, but who knows? Like maybe they'll come back. Maybe we'll start seeing them exert their power. But as of right now, like to me, at least from what I'm seeing, I haven't really been seeing them exerting their power. At least it hasn't felt that way to me, at least.
It's not so much about abusing power. It's just the way I look at it is like, and Justin, you'll get this because it's a Simpsons reference. I don't like the idea of the Young Bucks having 2 spaghetti dinners in one day. I again, wrestling people should do the wrestling stuff, and the corporate, business people should do the business stuff. So I just, I'm not the biggest fan of them, but like, I just don't think they should be stretching themselves out so thin. Because Cody even said the same thing, like, I took on too much when I decided to become an EVP.
True. And again, like I said, and I said this like 2-3 times already, I do not think they should be EVPs, but I'm just making a devil's advocate point. So
right, but that's about it on the topic.
Yeah, so we can move on here. Jesus Christ, where am I at here? Okay, so this is some funny shit here. So matches being discussed for All In at Wembley, right? Now tonight we did get our first match announced. It's going to be MJF versus Adam Cole in Wembley for the AEW World Championship. At first, even in Drew can attest to this, at first I was like, that's going to fill a stadium? Like really? Like, that's the match you're going to have? But with the current story right now that they're doing and what that can lead to, possibly, okay, I'm willing for that to play out at Wembley, possibly. But that's not the matches that that are being discussed. There are 3 matches that are being discussed. One is probably not going to happen because it's happening next week. But we have the Young Bucks versus FTR, most likely for the Tag Team Championships. We have Rob Van Dam versus Jack Perry. Rob Van Dam appeared on AEW tonight with Pantera. And he's going to face off against Jack Perry next week for the FTW World Title. Don't know if that's going to, be like a nothing match and that goes into All In, but hopefully it does not. Then this one here, Jeff Jarrett versus Grado. I don't know about you guys. Young Bucks versus FTR. Okay, yeah, sure, fine. You know what I mean? They'll put on a great match. I think that's worthy of Wembley because the 2 great tag teams here. But Rob Van Dam versus Jack Perry and Jeff Jarrett versus Grado? You know what I mean? Like, it's. I'm sorry, that's terrible. If this is just rumors, this hasn't been officially announced or anything, but if this is going to happen at Wembley Stadium, that's a fucking issue. This is supposedly going to be one of the biggest wrestling shows of all time, right? Crowd wise, that's not what I would put on a show like this. I don't even care if it's in the pre-show. I don't care. That's not what you put on a show like this. It has to be. You have to focus, and Drew knows. I say this all the time about NXT. You gotta focus on the youth. You gotta focus on the talent that you have right there. Don't bring in outside guys to have these matches at Wembley Stadium, because there's gonna be a lot of guys there in that locker room that's gonna feel some type of way because they're not on the card. But yeah, Rob Van Dam, who I love to death, I love Rob Van Dam, but does he deserve to be on this Wembley stadium card? Possibly, no, not at all.
Especially when you supposedly sold out all those tickets. You don't need guys like Jeff Jarrett or Grado on the card. I'm sorry. Grado should not. If Grado is in AEW for the last 2 or 3 years, hell, even up to the last 6 months, then fine, that's cool. But what you bringing in Grado for? You bringing in a comedy wrestler to do an angle with Jeff Jarrett? To do a match with Jeff Jarrett? That makes no sense.
Terrible.
Especially out of the blue, for what? And Grado's not even from England.
So I did. Now, one thing I did see a segment that I just saw maybe like a couple hours ago, right before Dynamite started. Jeff Jarrett was doing like an interview with like a BN Sports or whatnot. I think like Grado works for like BN Sports, something like that, like on the radio or whatever. But anyway, Jeff Jarrett slapped him and he, hit him in the head with a guitar. So, but even at that, right? Like, where's the story? You know what I mean? Like, I get that. And I'm a person that's on wrestling all day. I work at a fucking wrestling shop. Like, what do you think I'm gonna be doing with my time? You know what I mean? So, so the fact that I barely saw this today is not good at all. That these rumors are starting up. So, but yeah. So I mean, what do you guys think about the All In show? I mean, like I said, we got Adam Cole versus MJF confirmed already, but out of these 3 matches here, would you want to see any of these matches, or what matches do you think we should see on this All-In show?
I think Ospreay and Omega Part 3 should definitely happen. Yeah. If not, maybe even headline this show.
Yeah. No, I agree.
I think that's a big enough match. Those guys have great chemistry. Ospreay is obviously from England. I think that's the right call to make. That should be main event. I don't want to see Jericho versus no Ospreay. It doesn't make any sense. For what? These guys haven't been feuding. It doesn't make any sense. You said FTR and the Young Bucks earlier, right?
FTR and the Young Bucks, yeah.
I don't mind that simply because they never. Correct me if I'm wrong. They never had a blow-off match for their.
They only had 2 matches against each other.
Yes, exactly. So I think a third one's in order. So you know what, Wembley, go all out for Wembley. 2 of your best tag teams, even though both teams are not for me personally, but for AEW standards, 2 of the best tag teams. Send them out there. That's fine. That's cool. Got no problems with that whatsoever. I think that should be on the card. You got to find a way to showcase your trios champions. How do you do that? I think you should do House of Black versus LFI. Roosh is re-signed. All right.
Yeah, I think that's the direction that they may go in. Actually, possibly.
Right, Andrade, Dralistico, and fucking Roosh. Not no fucking Preston Vance. Get his ass up out of here. That sucks. You do that, I think that's another great match because all 6 of those guys can work. Got you a fun 6-man right there for those trios titles. The women's championship match.
Who Jesus, who the fuck knows?
Why do I have a sneaking suspicion it's going to be either A, Sheeta versus Saraya, or B, Sheeta versus Britt Baker? And I don't want to see either one of those matches.
It may be Saraya.
I don't want to see either one of those matches.
I don't, but I'm just thinking about the England thing with it.
Right, exactly. That's why I'm bringing up both.
Poor Sheeta. She's gonna have to sell. She's gonna have to sell for Britt Baker, not Britt, but Saraya's popcorn punches.
It doesn't matter. Like, I don't care. Like, it doesn't matter, man. Like, the division sucks. It's terrible.
I think
I don't give a fuck who they put in there.
They should have saved Tony Storm versus Sheeta for.
It could be a fucking a fucking Will Niango, a Sky Blue, and a fucking Tony Storm twerk off. Like, I don't give a shit.
Oh my god!
I don't care.
Hey, don't give RJ any ideas, okay?
Yeah, don't give me hope. With oil just raining down from the sky. Oh my god!
You're gonna see all you need is orange.
This is and you just hear Nigel McGuinness like, this is the finest imported oil from Italy. And I just,
all we need is Arn Anderson to sing "Freak a Leak."
Yeah.
Do you want it over here? Do you want it over there?
I need a girl I can freak with. She got a big booty and she knows what to do with it.
But speaking of
oh my god,
All In, Jamie Hayter, unless she has like a miraculous recovery, she will not be in time for All In at Wembley Stadium. So this is from Fightful Select. Things seem worse with her injury than anticipated. Her returning this year is unexpected, and right now there's no timetable on a potential return. It's from Fightful Select and Sean Ross Sapp. So adding into the
there's a lot of injuries between the NXT girls, and we know why. Their new strength and conditioning coach down in NXT fucking sucks. So that's why a lot of those girls are blowing out their fucking ACLs and whatnot.
Yeah.
But AEW, I think AEW might have to tell some of the wrestlers to kind of cool it on some of the shit. Like Chris Statlander, man. I think she's one fucked up moonsault away from blowing her knee out again. And I think they need to tell her, hey, just stick to what you know. Don't try to do anything extra. I think that's what they might need to tell the girls. Hey, Jamie Hayter is stiff as hell in that ring, tough as nails. Think she might have to pull back a little bit.
I think that's AEW in general.
Right.
You know, you like I get that you want to like you're trying to stand out from WWE as far as doing in ring stuff, which is great. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But know when to pull that out and know when not to pull it out. Not because of ring psychology. Like fuck all that shit. Like I can care less. This is really just for you to make sure that you're not injured. You know, you make sure that you're not injured going into next weekend, and next week's a huge match, right? Ricochet said, and this is kind of tying in. Ricochet said in an interview recently that he hates doing the fucking 6:30 now. That's why you don't see him do it no more, because he says every time I do it, my back and neck hurts like shit. So it's
especially when you do it every week.
Yep.
Like certain things are made for the indies because you're only working the indie date. You're not doing this shit every night. Ricochet's working with 3 times out of the week. He's doing Raw, then he's doing the 2 house shows on the weekend. Yeah, no, like fuck that. Like your neck is gonna be fucked. That's it. So
Right.
no, I don't blame him for not doing that. That shit hurts.
I mean, it's also kind of like, you know, respectable, you know, from a guy like Ricochet who's like, I don't need to do this anymore. You know, because also, I mean, how old is Ricochet? Do you know how old Ricochet is?
He's like 30. He's like my age, 35.
Yeah, so he's not a spring
around
chicken.
forever.
He's not a spring chicken anymore. Like he's acknowledging, okay, I'm not 21, so I shouldn't be doing this shit anymore because I already have the job I want and I'm getting a push, and the office likes me and the fans like me, so less is more. You know what I mean? It's like, I forgot who I told this to. Me and Ruben were having a. Oh, by the way, Ruben had to dip out. He had because of his tooth. But me and Ruben were having a conversation about movies. And I forgot what the topic exactly was, but like, you know, I had a quote of like, you know, you already got me. Like, you don't need to do anymore. Like, that's kind of like with Ricochet is like, you know, the fans, you know, they love me. You know, I got, you know, to them it's like, you already got me. Like, why do you need to do too much? You know, we don't want you to be paralyzed, you know, or not to sound morbid, but we don't want you to die. So, you know, Ricochet is, you know, again, smart enough to realize, all right, less is more. Let me just go out there and work. So, I mean, just again, all these guys in AEW, like Kenny's had multiple interviews where he's like, you know, I'm in pain. I shouldn't be doing all these moves, and he still fucking does them.
But Kenny doesn't really do any crazy shit though in the ring. He just like the only thing he does is like he goes like at super fucking hard. He's not doing like no fucking 630s or shooting star presses or anything.
But that's another thing. He shouldn't have to go too hard though, because it's like, why do you need to do that? I mean, again, I'm not a Kenny fan, but it's like, people love you. Why do you need to go that hard in every match?
That's just his style. You know what I mean? Like, for example, you know,
but Kenny doesn't even wrestle like that, like solo dolo. Like, he does the trio stuff for the most part, and like that's just basic trio shit.
But I really think like all the King
matches are like really.
I really think like all the King, like, hey, I'm hurting. I think that's all from New Japan. Honestly,
Right.
Like New Japan Kenny was another fucking animal. Like, he was every fucking, like, the G1, like he was every fucking night he was like going in there and just like beating the shit out of, like, having it was basically having matches with Gunther every fucking night, the way he was going, the way his body was probably feeling. But like in AEW though, like he's way more toned down than what he was in Japan. Like, he's like, it's like 60% Kenny Omega that we're seeing right now, from what I'm used to seeing.
No, I agree. I watched a lot of Kenny in Japan too. Like, yeah, this is like, that's a fraction of what's going on right now in AEW, because you can't afford to do that every week.
Exactly.
Because if you do that every week, you're fucked. The G1, like you said, the G1, that's a tour. It's a few dates, you know, within a month. You're not going hard every other day and every night. You know what I'm saying? And AEW has provided him a chance to preserve his body a little bit. But damn, oh damn, does he not phone it in whenever he wrestles? He still goes hard.
Yeah.
But it's a fraction of what we see in from Kenny and New Japan, though.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, like Kenny, he gets the misconception of being a high flyer. He's not like the Young Bucks. He's not like Ricochet or whatnot. Like, to me, he's like Seth Rollins.
Yeah, he's a hybrid wrestler.
Like to me, like and to me, Seth Rollins is more of a high flyer than Kenny Omega.
Yeah, he is.
So,
they're both hybrid wrestlers of every sense of the word. They can do their Texas strength, technical strikes, and then they can do the little dives and shit over the top rope and shit. So yeah, no, that's definitely a good comparison.
All right, yeah, just move on real quickly because I know we still got a lot of shit to talk about. So sources confirmed to Comcast is scheduled to air AEW All In on pay-per-view with a $50 price tag. That would mean that it would be in demand on all cable systems and would be expected carrying the show. That's from Meltzer from Figure 4. Now, the reason why I brought that up is because of the rumors of possibly of them getting a TV deal, a streaming deal, or whatnot by All In, and they're just waiting for it to be announced. And we have All In coming up in 4 weeks from now. To me, that's starting to look more and more and more unlikely at this point. If it's coming, I don't think it's going to be by All In. Now, if they announce Tony Khan said, "Hey, I have a major announcement," you know how he does major announcements, and it's actually a major announcement, then that'll be something to look out for. But it's gonna be kind of tough for people to buy All In then All Out the very next week.
Yeah, I just thought that was very, very strange that they should just run 2 pay-per-views back to back like that on top of each other.
Yeah,
very weird.
And maybe they had something on the table. Maybe they did have something on the table originally. Maybe it's taking longer than what it actually is. So, but I'm not really understanding what's going on with that. So, Are there any thoughts on that?
Not necessarily. I mean, they're getting more exposure. Good for them. Can't shit on that.
Well, I'm talking about in reference to the them possibly the reason behind them possibly not getting the streaming deal on time. Like, do you think that they may have something on the table previously, or do you think that that something happened with potentially with this streaming deal that could be coming out?
Again, I don't want to sound like I'm being ignorant or uneducated, but it's how many supposed streaming deals have they had?
Well, they haven't had any streaming deals yet.
Weren't they supposed to have a streaming deal for HBO Max, and that didn't happen?
Well, yeah, that was and
there was
that
a
was
few
rumors.
other ones.
Nothing was confirmed, but there's just been speculation that this All In and All Out show being back to back, that it could be in conjunction of a potential streaming deal with Max, right? I think that's still probably the way to go. I think they're going to be will be with HBO Max, but yeah, just with them being confirmed that they're gonna be on Comcast, and it's $50. You know what I mean? That's kind of telling me that that wherever they have potentially with Warner and HBO possibly could not be happening right now, at least.
So, question: I haven't asked this. So why are they having back-to-back All In and All Out shows?
What do you mean back to back? I don't know. Well, I don't know why they're going so All Out. I can answer that because that's fun because they always do it. Labor Day weekend. That's point blank period. Labor Day weekend is All Out. Period. Uh-huh. The All In that I can't say. Again, I'm thinking that when they got London and when they got Wembley, I'm thinking that AEW was probably in some type of negotiation with Warner to have a streaming deal done, so that way, hey, you're gonna get 2 pay-per-views back to back this week and next week, and all you gotta do is sign up for HBO Max, and you'll get the 2 pay-per-views, basically for your first month or whatever. That's why I'm thinking. I mean, that's just me speculating. I don't know if that's true or not.
No, it's still confusing. Anyways, next topic.
Yes, sir. Nick Aldis pulls out of upcoming bookings in Chicago and Puerto Rico due to a back injury. Reason why I'm bringing this up is because that we talked about I think it was last week or the week before, wherever it was, that Nick Aldis potentially could be in some talks with WWE, and there's people saying, well, he's coming in as a he may be coming in as a producer. Why are you coming as a producer? Well, back injuries, can be something serious. You know what I mean? So if he's pulling out of events, to a back injury, how serious is the back injury? You know what I mean? Is it that serious for him to, maybe retire? I'm not saying that's what's going to happen, of course, but back injuries ain't nothing to fuck with. You know what I mean? Ask Shawn Michaels, when he retired in 98, came back in 2002, but yeah, no. So he's pulling out of events in Chicago and Puerto Rico due to a back injury. So, you guys don't have to comment about that, but I'll just say we'll just keep an eye on that. So
he's gonna show up and he's gonna hit Cody upside the head with a microphone the night after. Well, 2 nights after SummerSlam.
People are saying he may come into Wembley. We don't know.
Oh,
yeah. So
I like Nick Aldis, and I think you know what?
All right.
Nick Aldis and Cody, they upset each other so fucking well.
Yeah.
The American Nightmare, the National Treasure. Ah, man, that feud writes itself. It really does. And I was like, WWE should absolutely sign this guy and have him be Cody's arch rival. Because they just offset each other so well. And Magnus doesn't do anything crazy. I'm sorry, I still call him Magnus here and there. But yeah, he doesn't do anything crazy. Bruce, the modern day gladiator.
Oh my god, what a shit gimmick that was.
I just liked how Don Tony would say it, Magnus.
Yeah, it was great. It was great. But yeah, he doesn't do anything too crazy as far as in ring goes. But his matches are good, and I think him and Cody, WWE, I think that's a good feud that writes itself.
I agree. I agree 100% with that for sure. Just my devil's advocate, because I always gotta be the devil's advocate here. The casuals are not gonna know who he is.
So you're stealing Sean O'Hare's gimmick?
Yeah.
I'm not telling you what you already don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, he's all like, think about it's not cheating. Think about it's helping your relationship.
But here's the thing, though, right? With that, Justin, is that's going to be WWE and Triple H's job to help educate the audience. That's going to be Cody's job as a performer to help educate the audience on why we should take the Nick Aldis, why we should treat Nick Aldis as such a big deal. It's what they do with him. If you just
I believe in Cody. I believe in Paul Levesque. I definitely do. I don't believe in the man who just had goddamn back surgery. All he's gonna see, he's gonna look at his profile. He's like, he's English. He's 36 years old. I don't want. Nah. We're not gonna do anything with him. Even though that he's younger than fucking Seth Rollins. So
yeah, what that. And I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know. He's more presentable to me as a champion. He's a guy that I would love to have in my company if I was a wrestling promoter. I mean, look at his face, look at his physique. He looks like a wrestler.
Oh yeah.
The way he dresses, he looks like a wrestler.
I agree 1,000%. 1,000%. You got no argument for me there. I'm just saying. Look who's what are they doing with LA Knight right now? The same thing that you just explained about Nick Aldis, that's LA Knight. What are they doing with him? Very over. He's the number one selling merch guy, but that's not because of what they're. Well, I mean, don't get me wrong. They are putting him on TV. He isn't but he should be more above on the roster than what he is. It should be fucking LA Knight versus Austin Theory at SummerSlam, not Santos Escobar. I love him to death, and I kind of explained why. Last week, why Santos is in this position. They could be having a Ray and Santos feud possibly down the line. Maybe, who knows? You know what I mean? Maybe they want to make a new star, and they already see that LA Knight as a star already. So instead of just making one star, let's make 2 stars. So I get it. I get why Santos is there. I'm just saying, strike the iron while it's hot.
It's actually going to be on SmackDown, not SummerSlam.
Oh my God, it's gonna be on SmackDown.
Yeah, the match is going to be on SmackDown.
Oh well, that's even worse. That's even fucking worse. But anyway, it just is. It's just even fucking worse. But I digress. Yeah. So last things here. Just got the ratings of the shows.
Ooh.
Dynamite last Wednesday, had a 898,000 viewership. Had a 0.92 in the demo. Showing here that was up from the previous week. We'll find out what tonight's Dynamite numbers is tomorrow.
Any predictions?
It's the 200th episode of Dynamite tonight. I think it's probably going to be up because of that.
Hey, Mom, I get to stay up late.
Watch Kenny Omega while I masturbate. Hey, Mama, don't you know? Meltzer says I'm in the key demo.
I have no idea what y'all guys are singing.
I'm 35, I'm in the key demo. I'm a single male up key demo.
I'll send you the link after we're done, Justin.
Oh my God.
SmackDown. 2.3 million viewers on Fox. 0.61 demo. Again, SmackDown is always killing it, as they always have. Rampage, 324,000 viewers. 0.1 in the demo. Just terrible for Rampage.
Bad.
Yeah, it's just terrible for Rampage. Well, I mean, Rampage is basically dead. It's dead now.
They should just take it off of TV.
I mean, but they signed, Warner signed, and actually in that time slot, like I'm saying, that's terrible in comparison to what they may have in that time slot. Still, that still may be good for them, possibly. I don't know. You know what I mean? But anyway, Raw was a 1.7. Viewership there, a 0.53 in the demo. Raw sucked, by the way, but
it did.
Didn't watch it.
It was bad. It was bad. There was some good. It was Gunther Tag had a damn good match, but and NXT growing. They're growing, baby. 717,000 viewers, a 0.23 in the demo, and also as well have Dark Side of the Ring as well. Bash at the Beach 2000, 158,000 viewers, a 0.05 in the demo, which that really doesn't matter for Dark Side of the Ring. So,
did you watch the episode?
Yes, it was good. I mean, Bash at the Beach 2000. I watched the damn pay-per-view live, and like Bash at the Beach 2000 is like one of my most. I will say it's one of my favorite pay-per-views ever. I'm not saying my favorite because it's good. Favorite because of the insanity behind it.
Oh my God, just Vince Russo. Bro, I told Hogan, bro. It's like, Jesus Christ.
Oh.
Dark Side of the Ring made me feel bad for Jeff Jarrett. I didn't think that was possible.
Double J, Jeff Jarrett.
Yeah.
But that's it. That's it.
Yeah, it's just like
my fault. Go ahead.
No, it's just like basically what you just said. Like, it made us feel sympathy for Jeff Jarrett. Like, he was like, he got put into a pretty bad position with Russo, telling him to, do the dive, and, Jeff's like, fuck, my fucking grandmother started this business, my dad started this business, and I'm basically just like, disrespecting them by doing this shit. So, and just not telling us what we already didn't know about Hogan, that Hogan, cared more about his spot and, creative control and money, but whatever. But anyways, go ahead, Archer.
His bald spot, his Nick get to the ring spot, his non-athletic spot.
I'm not old, brother.
I was watching that promo the other day in the shop, the fucking Four Horsemen parody.
Oh no, the funniest part in the documentary to me was like Lance Storm telling a story about when Russo came in, and Russo just looked at Storm and went, "I want to make you Eric Bischoff's illegitimate son," and then Lance just goes, "Eric's like 10 years older than me." Oh man,
my god!
I love Lance.
Storm.
I love Lance Storm. I love that dry sense of humor of his.
Lance Storm don't get. I appreciate Lance Storm a whole lot more now as an adult than I ever did as a kid. You know,
Right.
as a kid, you don't really see the genius all that much. But them making fun of him kind of indirectly on WCW and shit like that about him being boring and shit like that, that shit was funny.
Oh, when he was like fucking, he held the titles with the exception of the World Title, man. That was so fucking great. The whole Team Canada.
That was great.
That was
I'm watching it now.
so. That was so fucking good, man. Just, oh, all rise. Like, can I be serious for a minute? Just like so great. Just
Come on,
driving
Major
me
Guns, you
great.
can do it.
And then
Major Guns running on a treadmill.
Oh god, that was awesome. And then WWE, like Austin, just making fun of him for being boring. like he would just come out with like a pillow, and be like, boring.
When I don't know if you ever. Well, of course you guys seen One Night Stand, 2005. But have you ever heard the JBL not the documentary, but the alternate commentary on the show?
No, I haven't.
Oh my god, it is hilarious. So when the Crusaders they go up, JBL's mic the entire time. He's mic the entire time. So he was like, he said something about Lance Storm whenever he came out for his match. He was like, here comes the most boringest man in the history of boring. And he said, Lance Storm, he said you can't fill up arena with Lance Storm. If you give tickets away, you gave everyone free beer. Yes.
God.
Yeah, you got.
Gee.
So one, and I'll put it down below. Check out OSW's One Night Stand 05 review, and they have some of the parts of the commentary in there. The only way you could get this commentary is if you have the DVD, which I have. I actually have a DVD. But if you don't have DVD, then the next thing is look up OSW review, and they have some of the parts in there. It is hilarious.
All right.
But yeah, news stories done.
All right, let's get to the shows. So, NXT Great American Bash. We're gonna review that real quick. It was this past Saturday, July the 30th, in the great state of Texas, Cedar Park, Texas, which is essentially Austin, at the HEB Center. So we got the matches right here. There was a pre-show. Nathan Fraser, Ulissa Leon, Valentina Feroz, and Dragon Lee defeated Metaphor, Noam Dar, Jakar Jackson, Lash Legend, and Oro Mensa. This was 10 minutes and 51 seconds. I was kind of half paying attention to this match, but it's funny because I saw people online apparently say it was a really good match. So fuck me, right?
Nathan Frazier was going nuts, bro. Me and my brother was getting concerned for him. But every dive he was doing, I'm like, holy.
Nathan Frazier's so fucking good, man.
But he was going 1,000,000 miles per hour.
He
like,
is,
holy fuck.
he is so fucking good, man.
Yeah, he's good. I was impressed with the match. Even the girls. I thought the girls.
I will say this. I will say this. With the girls, Lash Legend. She's still bad in the ring.
Yeah, she's still bad. Yeah,
She's still bad in the ring, but I like her in this role.
yeah.
Like I like her in this role because she complements so well with Noam and Oro and Jakar. I like what she's doing in this role here. Keep her out of the ring. I don't want to see her in the ring. But the role that she's doing right now, she's getting a thumbs up for me. I've seen improvement with her character work, and I'm liking what I'm seeing. So
Yeah.
if this time last year, I'll be like, "What the fuck? Get her off my TV!" But as of right now, I'm liking what I'm seeing with her.
Yeah, that's what I was ready to say. She was all right because she didn't do much. She didn't do much. It was all Miss Jackson and Yulisa Leon and Valentina Feroz, who they were out to prove a point too. I thought they looked nice. And of course, Dragon Lee is gonna Dragon Lee, and Ora Mensa and Noam Dar look good too. So yeah,
Noam Dar's so underrated, man. He's so underrated,
and he's such a good slimy fucking heel, and he's got that slimy look, like
just like the long hair, the hairy chest, and just like the prick, like God, man. Like I've been a big fan of Noam Dar since the first UK tournament.
Yeah, same. Since the Cruiserweight Classic.
Oh, Cruiserweight Classic. Yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah, Cruiserweight Classic when he went up against
Zack Sabre Jr.
Zack Sabre Jr. Yeah,
that match was so fucking good, and he was
that ending with that fucking
headbutt.
You know, yeah, the headbutt, the fucking armbar, or the rings of sound with his legs. Like what the fuck?
Yeah, that shit was sick.
Yeah,
I don't hear nobody talking about how bad Zack Sabre Jr. is bad in the ring. Like what?
No.
Yeah, okay. All right, but yeah, Noam Dar's great. I've been saying it for the longest, so I'm glad to see that he's still around and he's still shining. And Noam Dar is probably him and Cedric and Ali are the only guys that still left from 205 Live.
Akira Tozawa.
Yeah, Tozawa too. Who I think should be in NXT.
Yeah,
Tozawa should be in NXT, wrestling some of these guys down.
He should be going up to the North American Championship. He's like Akira Tozawa. He's so good, but like he just doesn't. Doesn't really get that chance to really show how good he is.
Yeah, and he's very charismatic too.
Oh yeah,
it's not like a thing of he's another. I'm a wrestler. He's a guy that can be funny, and he's charismatic. He can do it. He can do it. So I would like to see him get that chance too. The one of the downsides to Cedric Alexander, and that Cedric Alexander is great in the ring, but if he had his wife's fire and charisma, he'd be great. He'd be great, undeniable. But unfortunately, he doesn't. So,
did y'all know Nathan Frazier and Thea Hale are dating?
Yep.
Yeah, that's an interesting couple. Good-looking couple. Next,
you want to know who's even more of an interesting couple?
Huh?
Tiffany Stratton and Ludwig Kaiser.
I mean,
I'm a little jealous of Ludwig. Not gonna lie.
Hey, that's a lucky motherfucker.
I mean, yeah, man. He scored, man, for sure.
Say my name.
The ring general. And him, Buddy, and Dom, all lucky motherfuckers. Just Jesus Christ. All right, so the first match on the actual show, the main card, NXT Tag Team Championship match, The Family. Tony D'Angelo and Channing Stacks Lorenzo against Gallus, Wolfgang, and Mark Coffey. And again, fun match. The crowd was obviously into The Family. I'd put a tweet out where, 2 years ago when, NXT was revamped and they decided to go in a different way with, how they go about scouting talent, a guy like Tony D'Angelo, which I'm like, okay, so they're going back to characters and they're doing the stereotypical, Italian mob guy. I'm just like, this, why? And, at the time, Tony just wasn't very good. Now he's vastly improved and he's over. They made him a babyface and the fans love him. They do the hand gesture thing and it works. And, and Stax is actually, very good in the ring too. So good for them. Good for them for getting over, for getting better. The Performance Center, it pays off in dividends, as you can see with not just NXT, but with the show in general. With the exception.
What do I say all the time, Drew? Give it some time. Everybody was ODing and poo-pooing on everything that they were trying to do in 2.0. And I'm like, give it time. I was probably the only guy on Twitter that was saying, give it time. And look where we are 2 years later. Look at him. Like you just said, he looks great. Stacks looks great. Gallus is going to Gallus because Gallus has been around the block a long time. But D'Angelo and Stacks look great. They developed.
Yep. I mean, their character works have been amazing. In ring, Stacks and Tony D, they both improved tremendously over the couple of years that they were there. They're a great pair. The only person I feel bad for is fucking, Two Dimes. I mean, where the fuck is he? Yeah, where the fuck is he in AEW right now? He ain't doing shit. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. But the match overall wasn't great. Be honest, wasn't great. I'm very glad that that Tony D and Stacks won. Gallus for right now, very good in the ring. I like Gallus. I understand Gallus. I get Gallus. I understand why they were the tag team champions. I get it. But the casuals don't understand Gallus. They don't have a connection with them. You know what I mean? And they were champions for a little bit too. They weren't champions for like a month or anything. They had titles for a little while. So, it was time for them to lose it, and and the right team won, and hopefully now teams like Blade and Nofe can come up, and other teams like that can come up to possibly challenge the family for the tag team titles.
Yeah, I don't think this title reign is going to be that long.
Who do you think they're going to lose it to? Angel and probably not even Angel and Bertha, because they're having issues right now.
No, I think they're gonna come back with a serious edge. Even though I said the other day on me and Monty's show that I don't think they really need a repackage. Just push them. Just push them. Let Angel. You're gonna take away Angel taking off his pants? Come on, man. People pop for that spot.
Yeah.
So he's not gonna be a horn dog no more. That's his whole gimmick. It's like he's a horn dog. You can take that away from him. So I don't agree with that. But I think fired up, reinvigorated Angel and Roberto are going to take the belts from him. Not saying right now, but within the next couple of months. I don't see this reign lasting very long. But it's good. Good on them for getting it though, because like I said, one of the first.
Or maybe New Crime Time can take the towels off of them.
New Crime Time. Those guys are fucking jacked, bro.
Oh yeah, they are.
And I watch those guys improve as well too. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. You know what? I'm giving a developmental, because I've always been a developmental supporter, even with NXT. Back before they were NXT, FCW. I used to go to FCW shows a lot, so I got a chance to see a lot of green guys like Big E. Big E had the fucking small. Y'all think Riddle's trucks were small back in the day? Yeah, I ain't got no idea. Big E Langston with them small.
Oh yeah, Jesus, man.
God.
Goddamn, man. Goddamn, looks like a fucking pipe was about to fall out of his pants.
Exactly, bro. And him and Roman Reigns is, Leaki having matches, shit like that. Like, so I got a chance to see those guys grow, and that's kind of like, I don't know, that's the fun part to see these guys grow. So, like, watching guys like Bronco Nima and Lucien Price improve. The guy that got the guy at Tavion Heights. I've been singing his praises too. That guy has been getting better and better each time I see him. So they got guys and girls down there that, yes, they're not indie guys. They're not going to blow anybody away on those standards. But how quick a lot of these guys and girls are getting it nowadays, oh, man, it's really cool. That Kalani Jordan girl, she's fun to watch. I watched that match with that girl, Carmen. She comes out swinging a fucking sword. Not bad.
yeah. I just followed her on. I think on Instagram or whatnot. Like she's like a black belt and shit. I'm like, okay, yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
She's not bad.
Yeah.
Her and Ivy now had a serviceable match on NXT Level Up. That girl Izzy Dane, bad either. So I mean, that's a good thing. Not bad. Lola Vice. I was impressed.
I mean, let's be honest about Lola Vice. Can I be honest about her for a second?
Be honest. That's what we want you to be honest.
She doesn't need to do a goddamn thing. She could be the worst wrestler in the world. I don't give a fuck.
Her body is incredible.
Like I was watching NXT last night, and she, she ended up getting the victory or whatnot, and I didn't remember the match.
I didn't either, to be honest, because there were so many hot ass Latinas in the ring. I'm like,
I'm not even trying to be funny, but I didn't remember the match. But also as well, Kalani Jordan. My God, man, that yellow bone skin, piss color, oh God.
The following tag match is brought to you by Drew's Fantasy.
4 bad Latinas in the ring.
Anyway, enough of the thirst. But yeah, no, but I totally get what you're saying, RJ, for sure.
Yeah, no, man, it's really cool to see how far a lot of these people can grow. But if people just give them a chance, it would be a whole lot more better. That's why I wasn't down with shitting on NXT when they rebooted. And that's something I've been wanting. I was wanting new talent after a while. Remember Drew? All the shows we used to do reviewing NXT, I'm like, I'm bored with these people. I'm bored with Adam Cole. I'm bored with Johnny Gargano. Let's get some new talent in here. Whether it's new guys from the indies that they might sign or just people that they hire in general. What's the point of having all these athletes if you're not going to use?
Yeah, like that was kind of like, the bad thing about NXT is just like, yeah, you have all the talented guys from the indies and New Japan, but at the same time, it's like we're seeing the same people on television every week, and it doesn't seem like anyone really is, I don't want to say not progressing, but like you can tell a lot of these people are not going to be on the main roster. You can tell. You knew Adam Cole was not going to be on the main roster. You knew Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish and Robert Strong.
I'll stop there. Adam Cole, he was going to be on the main roster if he didn't leave. Like, he was going to be on the main roster. Now, the rumor about him, possibly like becoming a manager and shit, okay, that's another thing. But Adam Cole is too fucking good just to be just sitting there in NXT.
Right, it's just, maybe that part is right, but it's just like you had too many people like Gargano, for example. Like, what was the narrative about Gargano from, Soup, preferably Joe, where he was like, this guy has been in NXT for, 4 years? And, either do something with him or let him go. And then they let him go, and eventually he did come back on the main roster, and, look where he's at now. So, but yeah, like, it took me a while, but yeah, the new NXT I like. Because you have almost like a revolving door of new people coming in, and it helps that they have level up, because it gives the other talent that aren't able to show up on television to wrestle a chance to wrestle and a chance to develop their character.
I like NXT's Rampage.
Yeah, but better. But anyways,
better utilized. Yeah.
Better utilized, but. Next match.
Well, yeah, and I'm just saying, like, the secondary show for talent who's not, like, being used on the main show.
Yeah, I get you. Right. Next match, a Weapons Wild match. Roxanne Perez versus Blair Davenport. I enjoyed this match. It was fun. My fear going into the match was that I thought they were going to do too many crazy spots and then just, like, get up and act like nothing happened. Because, again, not to sound sexist, but it's two girls that are like $120, $110, and it's like, are they really going to do all these dangerous spots and then get up like nothing happened? But no, luckily they didn't do too much of that. I mean, there was the one spot, through the table, and unless I'm forgetting something, but it was an entertaining match to me. I had fun. With Roxanne's family at the front row. The mom was good at, emoting, acting like she was, worried and pissed off at Blair. The daughter, I don't know how old the little sister is, so I'm not gonna
she ain't look older than 10 years old.
Right, so I'm not gonna be like, you need to smarten up, you need to smarten your sister up. I'm like, no, I'm not gonna say that, but it's just like, I think she was trying too hard, but it just, sometimes it looked like she was overacting, and sometimes overacting in wrestling doesn't always work. But they did fine enough for what they were trying to do. But
she's going through those range of
I
emotions.
disagree with that. I thought she did okay.
No. I'm not trying to say. I wasn't shitting her. I didn't say she did bad. I also didn't say she. I thought she did okay. I'm just gonna leave it at that. So, Roxanne getting the win. She's the hometown girl. Roxanne, I've always liked Roxanne. Just again, she needs to be in developmental for maybe like another year, maybe another year and a half, 2 years probably. Still very green. Not bad in the ring, but there's some things she needs to work on. The only thing she really needs to work on is just, the ability to cut a promo, personality wise. And lately,
verbal skills.
Yeah, verbal skills. Because like I told Justin, I told RJ this as well, is that she's still kind of stuck in that "I'm happy to be here" voice. Hi, I'm Roxanne.
I think that's just her voice. Like, I think that's just the way she talks. She just talks like a girl from the fucking valley. I mean, she is from the valley, but she talks like a girl from the fucking valley. Like you know what I'm talking about, Drew.
Yeah.
That's just the way she talks. Now I think that's where they need to kind of I guess really dive into helping her sound a little bit more convincing when kind of promo. Because that is her weak spot, is her delivery. I don't think what she says is wrong or bad or anything. It's just how she says it, how she delivers it. So.
She needs to sound comfortable. Like, you know, like when she, like sometimes when she cuts a promo, it sounds like she's like trying to deliver a speech in like fourth grade or something, where she's like, I am happy to be here, guys. I am Roxanne, and I love NXT. Like, she needs to just sound like she's comfortable and that she's owning it. You know, it's like we always say about Ronda. Ronda speaks like she's in a room full of 60 when she's in a arena full of like 6,000. You know, Roxanne needs to.
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Roxanne just needs to kind of avenge. I think she can get there personally. And lately, I've been seeing more of an aggressive side out of her, and it doesn't seem like it's forced. It seems like it's natural. So again, I like Roxanne, and I think she can be something. She can be something big in the next 2 years. But go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say that because you mentioned Ronda Rousey. Just a quick note. One of the things overall that I did like, I really liked that Shayna Baszler interview.
Oh, that was good. I saw that.
That was really good. I still don't give a fuck about the match, but we'll talk about that once we get there. So
see how effective a good vignette and video package could be. Utilize it more often.
Yeah, works for Brock. Brock, you know.
Yeah, right.
But
RJ, but I thought the match was fine. And you say Blair Davenport and Roxanne Perez are $120, right? Them asses ain't $120s.
got that right.
And I thought Blair Davenport's heel work is great. She's such a good heel, and
it's reminding of what she was. It was reminding me what she was doing in early AEW and Stardom too.
Yeah, no, she's really, really good. I like Blair Davenport a lot. This won't hurt her one bit. She's a girl that can bounce back real quick and snap into something else. So.
Oh yeah, and plus right now, like, she doesn't need to worry but she can take losses right now because the main reason is because who's the champion in NXT? Tiffany Stratton. What's Tiffany Stratton? She's a heel. So like, if the champion was a babyface, this would kind of hurt Blair a little bit more because like she goes down that totem pole. But right now she's the second biggest heel on the women's division on the roster. So to me, it's really like, you know, she's not really like losing anything when she loses this match. You know what I mean? Roxanne needs to win more than Blair in this situation. So even though I did pick Blair Davenport to win, but just in hindsight looking at it, Roxanne needs to win more.
Yeah, I think we both picked Blair to win.
Yeah,
but I'm glad Roxanne won. All right, so next is the debut of Gable Steveson versus Baron Corbin.
Oh my God!
Corbin debuting with some like, I don't know, heavy metal pirate song. I don't know what the fuck it is. I mean, it's not bad, but it's just like I like the original theme and the, you know, End of Days theme.
Well, I'm gonna go for him. I like the theme. I like the theme. I didn't really get the pirate ships in the background, but the actual theme, it was fine. It was fine. I'm sure it's gonna grow on a lot of people.
Yeah, probably. But
well, pirate shit caught me off guard, though. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, this match was not good. Gable is not. I can't tell if he's not good or if he's just. I mean, he's obviously not. He's obviously green. Like, this is his first match on a big show.
No. It's not his first match on the big show. It's his first.
Not angled. Clap, clap.
It's his first match. Period.
In general. Okay.
That's a huge difference.
Yeah,
it's his first match.
Right. So again, I can't really like cut his balls off because, you know, the fans obviously did that, but the fans were chanting Baron Corbin, which, when have you ever heard the fans chant Baron Corbin? You know, and they were booing Gable, saying, you know, you're not Angle, and the match ended in double count out. So,
which that was stupid, but again, they they booked themselves in the corner with booking this match in the first place.
Right. Because you could not have Baron Corbin lose his first match and his repacking. And then you can't have this guy who you've been overhyping for like 3 fucking years losing his debut. It doesn't make any fucking sense. I was questioning Shawn Michaels' thinking here. And Shawn Michaels was kind of thought he was, but the finish was still bad.
So I'll say this. Because I look at shit differently, obviously. I analyze. This is my most anticipated match on the card. Not to say that I thought this was going to be the best match. Obviously, I knew this was going to be the best match. This was my most anticipated match because of Gable Steveson. So I'm going to run down some things here that I liked and some things I did not like about Gable Stevenson's performance. First off, his attire. I didn't like that he was just wearing a fucking regular-ass singlet, which is fine, because Kurt Angle did the same thing as well. But it looks like he just, like, took his singlet that he won at the Olympics and he just put it on. And it's like, alright, can we get something a little bit different? That's number one. Number two, theme song. Didn't really like the theme song either. You know what I mean? It doesn't really punch. It doesn't really have that, you know, I'm pretty sure they'll work on that. Those are the two negative things. But Gable Steveson, athletic, right? I thought that his suplexes are good. His belly to belly is good. His German's good. I think he has a good German suplex. His another bad thing. His punches. I don't like his punches. His punches are not good at all. Like the way he punches. His selling. Not a lot of people are talking about his selling. I thought his selling for being his first match was decent. Decent selling. He when he was taking a punch, he knew where to act at it, and he knew where to sell and how to sell it, and things of that nature. I thought that it was only a 7-minute match, so he didn't really look gassed out there. At least the while I was seeing, he didn't really he was super gassed out there. But overall, a lot of people are looking at as far as the hype up or whatnot. But people gotta remember, when Kurt Angle first had his debut on WWE TV or whatnot, what it was like No Mercy or whatever, 99, wherever the pay-per-view was, you gotta think, he had a shit ton of house show matches prior to that. Right. This is Gable Stevenson's first professional wrestling match. He will get better. Give it time. I thought the brawl after the match, I thought that was fantastic. I thought it was a very good brawl. Minus Baron Corbin almost losing his head going through that barricade. I kind of squinched there for a second because his head almost hit the corner of the barricade there. But if it's a failure or if it's a success, I can't really say either or. I'm leaning towards more failure due to how the crowd reacted. But at the end of the day, though, people gotta look at the totality of what he did. This is his first wrestling match. Very first. No house show matches. Maybe he had private matches. Most likely probably had private matches, right? But to our knowledge, this is his first wrestling match. And for what it was in only 7 minutes, I thought he did what he could in his very first wrestling match. Is it up to par with Kurt Angle? Absolutely not. He has a lot of room to grow. He really needs to get better in certain things. But the fact that people are shitting on his very first wrestling match, you go out there and you try a fucking match for 7 minutes and let's see how the fuck you do. I'm pretty sure you'll do a lot fucking worse than Gable Steveson.
Right.
So at the end of the day, you need to if you're gonna call. To all these critics on Twitter and Instagram and TikTok and all this shit, right? Have a fair point of view. Analyze it. Look at what he was doing in the match. His punches were fucking terrible. His fucking, singlet and his entrance theme is fucking awful or whatnot. Outside of that, I thought he did well. I thought he did well for what he was given. So, again, it's not a thumbs up match. But I thought it was a thumbs up for as far as his very first match again. So that's all I gotta say.
Yeah, I agree. What he did as far as in ring wise, he showed a lot of promise as far as his athleticism and stuff like that. He's an athletic freak.
Now, I'll say this. I'll leave it at this. I'm sorry, and I'll let you go here. Now, if he doesn't consistently improve over month to month to month to month, okay, then we have a fucking issue at that point. He needs to start, as long as he keeps improving, and he wants to get better, and keeps improving, then that's fine. But if he doesn't improve, then okay, now we can start doing that heavy criticism. But as of right now, first match, I'm not gonna do it. I don't think that's fair to him.
Yeah, I agree with that. But yeah, I just he's an athletic freak. Like one of my good friends on Twitter, he followed his amateur career and everything like that. And he's always sung the praises of him, and he's a freak. I think, like you said, with some consistency, some time, I think he can get better. The problem is that he's had some commitment issues, whether he wanted to do this or do the Olympics and do this, that, and the other. There's been a lot of back and forth. And that probably had to play a role in it as well, him not consistently training and stuff like this for this. But if he's going to stay committed to this, he's going to be in NXT. Got to pick up the pace. Look at his brother. I think his brother is improving. Don't he?
Yeah, his brother improved a lot. But how many matches has his brother had? You know, like his very first match. I don't want to say he was seasoned already, but like how much practice did his brother get over? You know, Gable. You know what I mean? Like Gable.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure. And people think about this guy's a fucking Olympic gold medalist. I'm pretty sure this guy has like sponsor deals and like doing little things like commercials and shit and fucking like doing like modeling. Like, hey, I'm gonna model your fucking jeans, and you know he's doing like a fucking photo shoot for like 3 hours. You know what I mean? So, who knows? But like. His fucking belly to belly suplex is like fucking tremendous, though. You know what I mean?
It is.
Yeah, that's
you know what I mean? So those are some of the things you got to look at, and it's like all people are looking at. Baron Corbin, like he's getting cheered, and I think I think when people turn on him, and people say you're not Angle, we went for the ankle lock, and a lot of people are like, oh man, another amateur wrestler doing the ankle lock. I think that's why people are down on it more than what they should be, because Gable went for an ankle lock, which is known as Kurt Angle, which is known as Ken Shamrock, which is known as, maybe Chad Gable as well. So it's like, oh, another amateur wrestler doing the ankle lock, and people just start shitting on it. And they found that one excuse to not like him in the match. Plus, and also is why I didn't get to mention as well, plus his history as well, right? You know what I mean, with women. You know what I mean? So, so people are already finding that excuse. Right. And again, I'm not, excusing what he did, right? But I'm looking at, it's not like a Chris Benoit situation. Like, I'm looking at what he's doing in that ring. I'm not looking at, I can give 2 fucks. When he's in that ring, I give 2 fucks what happened with whatever happened with the woman, right? After the match or, during right now, okay, yeah, he's a piece of shit, whatever, right? But in that moment, I think people were really just trying to find an excuse to not like the match and not like him in that situation. Okay, I'll shut up now.
Yeah, he was kind of thrown into the lion's den. Like he was, it didn't help that he never had any matches, and then you have these allegations, and we have to call them allegations, and it's just people were just again more fuel to the fire of hatred for this guy. So I think eventually, again, that's why I wanted to say I didn't want to cut his balls off, for his first ever match. His first ever wrestling match, give him time. I mean, the guy's an Olympic gold medalist. He has talent. I mean, you can clearly see the talent there. Like he just needs to.
Yeah, he has good upside for sure.
He needs to keep wrestling. He needs to keep having more exposure, and he'll do fine. But go ahead.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say earlier. Is that if you look at his brother's improving with each outing. If Gable gets the same kind of routine and exposure that his brother's doing, then I think he will get better. He will get better. Damon Kim is a fucking beast.
Yeah.
Damon's a beast. I like watching him in NXT level up. That's usually where he wrestles a lot. Yeah, he's a fucking beast. So if he can be that at a consistent clip, Gable's gonna be great in the ring. as just finding a persona for him too. Because yay, Olympic gold medalist, they ain't a personality trait. It's an accolade. He needs a character. It worked for Kurt Angle, but Kurt Angle had personality. He brought personality to the table. Chad Gable as well brought personality to the table. What you gonna be besides an Olympic gold medalist, Gable? What you gonna bring to the table?
His personality, you could tell, is dry, but a lot of pro wrestlers, like over the years, that were amateurs, they actually became good wrestlers, right? Mm-hmm. So you got I can go over names, but I could go like the Danny Hodges of the world, and I can go down the fucking list. I can go like the Briscoes, and you know what I mean. So like you can go down the fucking list, but you just gotta give this guy some time. I think that I think that WWE, in a way, is, I guess, setting him up for failure in a way, or they did kind of set him up for failure, because to me, the first match he did fine, but like you could tell he's like clearly not fully ready yet. So
nope.
I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. Maybe.
I think it was a good thing that they had him in NXT though.
Exactly. Yes.
It's seen by half of the audience. I think that was the right call to make. It's seen by half of the audience. That way, when he finally shows up on the main roster and shit like that, people are like, all this time for that. So I think it's a good thing that it's in NXT. But boy, oh boy, like you said, Lions Den, that Texas crowd ate him up, man. They ate him up, and that was my own real. Oh boy, earlier that crowd ate him up more than anything, and. Like I said, just with some time. Like I said, I've been giving everybody time because, once again, it's developmental. And I like watching these guys grow into stars. So I'm all for giving them some time, but he needs some personality. I agree with you with the music. Needs some better music, some better gear. Like his brother. His brother's got some great singlets. Like I like the whole Donkey Kong logo singlet that he has now. Like, I like that shit. Like, so, yeah, maybe his brother might want to smarten him up a little bit about certain stuff. Because Damon Kemp's got some, too. I just think that he needs a manager, because when he opens his mouth, he is terrible on the mic, too. Just because he talks with a lisp. Mm-hmm. That's a common thing with a lot of big, tough guys, too. A lot of tough guys talking with lisp. But
Swagger, the all-American American.
Oh, good Lord, he's terrible.
Swagger stuttering eagle. All right. So next match, triple threat for the NXT North American Championship. Dirty Dominic Mysterio, the champion, versus Wesley and Mustafa Ali. Dom had Mommy, Rhea Ripley. One of the best matches of the night, with the exception of the main event. Well, obviously, we'll get to the main event. This was 12 minutes and 5 seconds. A lot going on in this match. The story was Wesley and Mustafa tried to get to Dom, and Rhea would find a way to get in the middle of everything. Rhea even gave a riptide to Wes through the table, which kind of was... I had mixed feelings about that, but, it's whatever. But, entertaining match. Wes is just fucking good. Like, the guy, just every match you see him in, I don't want to say he improves, because he's already been good, but, like, every match you see him in, you're like, this guy is really fucking good. Like, he is so good. I mean, he's kind of evolved from being more than just, like, a high flyer to he's more of a hybrid. Is that fair to say about him?
That's been him ever since he was Desmond Xavier.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, like again, and that comes down to the exposure of them, because like to a lot of fans, if he were to be in AEW, he'll just be like, he's just a high flyer, and like he's not special, because he'll just blend in with everyone else. But since he's in NXT and WWE, since there's not a lot of guys like that where he's at, and I mean, obviously there's that. You got like fucking like, you got like Dragon Lee there, you got Nathan Frazier, but they do high flying stuff, but they all do different versions of high flying. It's not the same exact shit. So with that, a lot of people see him as unique. So, so again, like, yeah, he's a high flyer. He does the flippy shit, right? But, he does it in a unique way where he has several different things that makes him stand out from just being just another high flyer.
Kind of like Paul London, right?
Yeah, I guess. I like Paul London, though. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I see what you're saying. But the match, I like the match overall. Very good match. Very good match overall. I thought this was the second best match of the night. Dom, even Dom in here, he looked better than he did against who was? Well, oh yeah, I guess the 1-on-1 with Wesley. I didn't really like that match that much. But this match here, I mean, he kind of rectified on the title win, and Mustafa Ali, he doesn't get enough credit on how good he is either. But yeah, man, it was a fun match overall, man, and Dom got the win, so there you go. And now we got a match with Dom and Dragon Lee next week as well. So if this is what it leads to for a short title reign for Dom, so Rey Mysterio can help Dragon Lee get over, I'm all for it.
I'm all for it too, because that serves a bunch of purposes right there.
100%.
That keeps the feud between Dominic, because Dom and Rey are gonna have a fucking rematch.
Oh yeah.
So that's one, and then number two, it helps Rey Mysterio endorses another Latin superstar. Dragon Lee gets a big rub and possibly gets a title. So that is. I won't.
It's not like passing up the torch. I'm not going that far, or not even near that extent. But it is acknowledging, saying that okay, if I were to leave, this guy can be the masked wrestler, of WWE. So hopefully hopefully it comes off well if he does win.
Yeah, and I think Dragon Lee is more than qualified to do
Absolutely.
that. Way more than Sin Cara and all the other guys that they tried before. I think Dragon Lee can be that guy. So she can't pick a better guy for that role. But yeah, I like this triple threat a lot. Ali, like you said, I don't think Ali gets enough credit for how good he really is. That dude can put on a great performance every time. Wesley, just amazing. I tweeted out Wesley's a fucking freak because he is. He's a freak of fucking nature, and he's a great, like we've been talking about, a great hybrid wrestler, man. That cardiac kick is fucking amazing, man. Great fucking maneuver. And he's so good, man. He makes everything look good. Between his wrestling work, his selling, it's all great. And his psychology is great, too. And it looks like Wesley might be next in line to Guatemala, so that should be good, too.
Yeah. So, I'll say this. Nash Carr leaving is the best thing that ever happened to Wesley.
Right.
Yeah, no, I mean, he got to develop and grow as a character.
Well, no, what I'm saying is that Wesley's career is further better off without Nash Carter there. Because he's about to go after the top title. That wasn't gonna fucking happen if Nash Carter was still there. You know what I mean? So like, and let's say that MSK would have been let go by budget cuts, whatever, right? They would just all this is what would have happened. One or two things would have happened. Either they would have went to AEW and be used for a little bit and not be just be a fucking random tag team on the card, or they'll be an Impact fucking ruin the tag team division. But like that's not really saying much there. You know what I mean? So as of right now, it sucked what happened to Nash Carter. It really the whole thing with Kimberly and shit. But this right here.
Blessing in disguise.
I still hate that.
It is a blessing in disguise for Wesley.
Yeah, right. I still hate that too.
I mean, when you look at both guys are winning. Wesley's a star in NXT, and Nash Carter, I mean, he's doing pretty well in the Indies, and he's back in Impact, right? And he's dating he's dating Gigi Dolan, so he's.
Oh, I mean,
Those Dumbo cheeks. I mean,
he gets cake.
I guess he is the biggest winner there. Shit, man.
He gets cake for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. He even gets brunch.
I will continue to say this, that Darby Allin is the biggest fuck up I ever seen in my life.
He's the biggest weirdo I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, Gigi's like, wait, I can date somebody that looks like a man? That was bad. I'm sorry.
and not somebody that I weigh. Jesus Christ.
Not some emo twink. Okay, I'll stop. I sound like Kevin Castle.
That wears booty shorts.
I sound like Kevin Castle. I sound like Kevin Castle. This emo twink. God damn it.
I'll be quoting Kevin Castle and Monty for
Jesus
twink
Christ.
booty shorts and leggings. And Monty just rips him about his outfit every week. I'm like, damn, bro.
God.
God damn it.
Next is the submission match for the NXT Women's Championship. Tiffany Stratton defeated Thea Hale. This match wasn't bad.
Wait. Can I say this?
Yeah.
Not a bad match.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. Yeah.
Until we got to the Boston Crabs.
Yeah, this wasn't a bad match. It was just like it was oddly paced. Like, I don't have a problem with it being a submission match, because Thea's whole thing is, I made you tap and blah, 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 should be champion. So I was like, okay. Like, I agree with RJ. Like, when they got to the Boston Crab, I'm like, ooh, maybe should have... Like, my whole thing was, because I think I was telling Monty, why didn't Tiffany just do, like, a torture rack?
Yeah. Yeah, because I think the height difference messed that Boston Crab up.
Yeah.
All right.
Tiffany Stratton's so tall, and she's got to hold Thea Hale's tiny little legs and sit on her back like that. That had to be uncomfortable because of the height difference. There's a major height. Thea Hale is 4'11". Tiffany Stratton is damn near 5'11", something. I don't know. Fuck.
Or
Like, I don't know, man. It's like Phoenix Marie and Lulu Chu. Like what are we doing here?
You know what else she could have done? I just thought of this. I don't know if you guys would agree. Like, what about a masterpiece? Like a master lock. She could have done that. She could have called it. She could have given it a title, a Tiffany lock. I don't know.
No, Lashley already does it. I don't want to see similar.
Okay. All right, so, fair enough.
The torture rack thing I think is perfect.
Yeah, torture rack. She could even borrow from Lex Luger and be like,
but she kind of did it. She kind of did her version of it early in the match.
Yeah, just be like, instead of the total package, I'm the Tiffy package. Like, do something like that. Like, she likes to say Tiffy. But, yeah, just, I'm like, yeah, that kind of, like, it didn't really ruin the match. It was just, it got weird. Because it was just like, it looks awkward.
Yeah, it awkward. I mean, she kept on dropping her legs and shit like that. And I was like, yeah.
I mean, not as good as their first match. But, I mean, still not a bad match. It just... It had a weird ending, but
well, and really, this match is really for storyline purposes anyway. What's going on next with Thea? So
yeah, Andre Chase threw in the towel. So
Hale's going to join Schism.
Oh God!
People,
but I will say this though about the match itself. I thought the match was a dumpster fire.
Oh.
I thought it was dumpster fire. Now, I'm not saying worst match of the year, or I'm not going that goddamn far, but I thought it was a dumpster fire as far as, because you can tell that, like, they're both so young. No one knows how to lead a match, and you can tell. So to your point, Drew, you're saying it's weird pace. Well, that's because no one knows how to call a match and lead a match.
Yeah, but it's weird because, like, we both liked their previous match, and we were both.
Well, but that was because that's a regular one-on-one match. How many of those have they had?
Right, and like
they know how to work regular one-on-one matches.
Right,
and this was a submission match.
Yeah, because I was saying, like, it's weird because you have two green girls that are both trying to carry the match at the same time, and it worked. Like, yeah, like what you just said, it was just a one-on-one match. This had a gimmick, like so. To my knowledge, I don't think either of these two ever had a gimmick match before.
Not to my knowledge, no.
So yeah, this again. I mean, you say it was a dumpster fire. I wouldn't go. I mean, I thought it was okay. It's just the towards the end of the match is where it got wonky. But
well, yeah, the fucking Boston Crab that was terrible. That was terrible.
It got really wonky at the end. But yeah,
it got really wonky.
But
well, I mean, obviously, you know how I feel about both women. You know, I'm like a huge fan of both women.
I know, me too.
But just at the end of the day, it's just like this match just didn't work out. And you know what? And at the end of the day, look, you're gonna have bad matches. It's gonna happen. Like it's not that big a deal. You're gonna have a bad match every now and then.
Yeah, exactly. Like shit happens. It's wrestling. Because at the end of the day, it's developmental, and Tiffany has been doing this literally for 2 years. So yeah, she's improved, but she's allowed to have one off night. Same thing with Thea, who's 19. So she's allowed to have an off night. You know what I mean? So so is everybody else. Even if you're a vet, you're allowed to have an off night. So, but match was 11 minutes and 45 seconds, and like we mentioned, Andre Chase threw in the towel, so that's going to start a storyline with Chase U.
Yeah, that kind of like last night. If you saw NXT last night, she was giving me Julia Hart vibes. You know what I'm talking about, RJ?
Yeah,
I do.
When they start with the whole Julia Hart storyline with the Varsity Blondes and her being depressed, and she was giving me Julia Hart vibes. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that she's gonna go all dark and be like the new leader of the fucking like being part of the House of Black, but yeah, no, she was giving me those same type of vibes.
That's why I made that schism joke earlier.
Yeah, there you go.
I got a better one. So, since Braun is being a heel, and he's gonna eventually morph. Like what I said, I don't know if it's gonna happen. He's eventually gonna morph into Scotty. He's gonna need some freaks. Thea could be one of his freaks.
Yeah, I'll be super uncomfortable watching that.
Okay, I'll take that back. I'll take that back. I'm sorry.
I'll be super uncomfortable watching that.
Yeah, her and Roxanne, no, I can't do it.
I'm gonna take no. Well, Roxanne's 21, so that would be less.
They both look like children. I mean, I don't know. Hell and Rock. I still look at them as children, man.
Okay, that was a bad joke. That was bad. That was bad taste.
What I was gonna say though kind of reminds me of the whole Roxanne Joey Ryan situation.
Oh God.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Wait, Roxanne, Joey Ryan.
Yeah.
What happened?
You remember when Roxanne came out on Twitter? It was like a couple years ago, right? And she was saying that Joey Ryan was trying to like pick her up and. When they were like doing like when they were like traveling or whatnot.
I don't remember that.
Oh wow!
And this is Roxy.
Yeah, 2020.
I heard.
Yeah. Remember like the Me Too movement and Believe All Women that fucking movement.
Yeah. Or Speaking Out. That was it.
Yeah. Believe All Women.
Yeah, I never heard. I know the story with like when Joey Ryan was doing like an autograph session in Izzo, or what? Not Izzo. Izzy. That's her name.
Yeah.
Like she was like underage, and apparently like Joey Ryan would like grabbed her and pulled her towards his table.
I mean, she's still underage.
Yeah, still underage.
That's just.
I mean, she's gonna have her first wrestling match. Speaking of first wrestling match, she's gonna have her first wrestling match here next week, San Antonio. Oh,
interesting. Yeah, fuck Joey Ryan, piece of shit. But anywho, fuck, where was I? All right, so now we're on to the main event, match of the night. Match of the year candidate. Not saying match of the year, but just match of the year candidate.
Oh no, it is definitely a match of the year candidate, like 100%.
Yeah, Carmelo Hayes, the NXT World Champion. Well, not World Champion, but NXT Champion. Versus Ilya Dragunov in a singles match for the NXT Championship. This is the longest match of the night. 24 minutes and 7 seconds. Holy shit, this match was fucking awesome.
Can I just say this real quick? The best NXT main event in a long time for a pay-per-view.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
No lies.
As far as best main event, yeah, in a long fucking time. This is the best NXT match since Ilya and Gunther.
No lies.
I'd say that.
No lies.
I'd say that.
Really good hard-hitting action. I mean, both guys, their styles like really meshed well together. Ilya being like the hard-hitting guy. I mean he's more than that, but like his whole thing is like he hits hard, like he is like fucking Sonic the Hedgehog. Like
he
that's
brings
how hard
the
he hits.
best. Like out of everybody, like in WWE NXT, Ilya's the best of bringing out a really good match out of you, no matter who he's in the ring with.
Physical too.
Very physical. And if you remember last week, Drew, I said this. I said this. If given time, if execute correctly, can be a match of the year candidate, and that's what the fuck we got.
And he made Carmelo play his game because Carmelo was hitting him too.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, Melo, like we mentioned, Melo is kind of is a hybrid with a little bit of mat wrestling. And, RJ loves to hold this over my head.
Who's the generic guy now?
God damn. He loves to hold that over my head, but fucking Melo is so good. Melo's money. He's him, like he just says. He's him. And I can't really think of a bad thing. I mean, bad as in a sense of I felt I was worried about one spot. There's a spot where Melo goes for his leg drop, and Ilya catches him really quick, and you just see Melo land on his head.
Oh, the powerbomb, yeah.
Oh, that was sick. That was a sick reversal, and like you said, how quickly it happened.
It was quick
because
usually you can see it happen, where the guy usually takes maybe a second or two to do it, whereas Ilya was just bah! He grabbed him and just went bah, and I literally yelled out, "Oh shit!" Is Melo? Because did Melo get concussed? If you guys know. Because he kind of looked a little out of it. I don't know if it's just me, but
concussed, I don't think he would have wrestled.
No, he wrestled last night, so no.
Yeah. No. I'm saying, did he kind of get his bell? I meant more did he get his bell rung in just that spot? But I mean, obviously that's not the case anymore. But.
No, because there have been reports about it. No.
I think he would have wrestled the match wonky.
No, they would have ended that match sooner rather than later if they speculated if anything was wrong.
I don't know, but basically, I was just worried for Melo after that spot. I went, ooh, that.
I was too, because it happened all in one motion, bro.
That looked gnarly, but
because you can see most of, like you said, you can see most reversals coming. Right. That one you didn't. It just happened all in one motion. He came down from the leg drop, Dragunov just snatched him out of the sky. Boom, come here, powerbomb, and Melo, yeah, it was crazy. That shit was crazy.
Trick getting involved, which. They did something different because at first I was like, is he going to go heel? I hope he doesn't. But no, he was getting in Melo's face. He was you're the champion, right? You're supposed to be the champion. You're letting this guy get to you. Who are you?
You a fraud.
Yeah, exactly. I thought that was interesting. And then, he has the belt on him. And then there was a spot where Dragunov goes for his headbutt. And I guess there was some story behind it of did he actually hit the belt? Did his head hit the belt? And Melo takes advantage of the situation, goes for his move. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, just fantastic match.
So I'll say this right now. I got this match as my third best match of the year.
All right.
I got this match as my third best match of the year, behind the Triple Threat at WrestleMania Intercontinental Championship match and Ospreay and Omega.
Not bad matches to have right there. That's damn good company right there, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I thought this match was that good, and the sentiment, and when I think a match is good, I look at the community, see what they say. Alvarez loved this fucking match. So if Alvarez loved it, I'm pretty sure Dave would probably feel the same way. So this may end up getting a 5-star, possibly. So we'll see.
Yeah, probably
Alvarez is pretty complimentary to the whole show, for the most part.
Yeah,
because I follow him on Twitter and stuff like that, and yeah, he was very complimentary of the show for the most part. So
yeah, Cornette's probably going to be complimentary too, since it's Dragunov and he likes Dragunov. So
yeah.
Yeah, just no complaints about this match. This is probably in my top 3 as well, along with Rhea and Charlotte and the Triple Threat from Mania. With the Intercontinental title, like Justin just mentioned. So this is easily in my top 3. Where I put it, I'm not gonna know until do the year-end show. So, all right.
Wesley and Carmelo Hayes are gonna try to outdo it.
I mean, it has potential, man. To be honest.
I can't wait for that. September 30th can't get here soon.
It has potential, to be honest, man. Now I will say this, because I know we're not talking about NXT from last night, but one thing I just want to comment on, Trick Williams and Carmelo seemingly, I don't fully trust it yet, but seemingly to split up. And it seems like their split is mutual, and it's like, hey, I just want to go, I just want to go solo, I just want to, do my own thing. So if that's the case, great. Because remember what I said, Drew, like a few weeks back or whatever, like not even like a few weeks back, but it was like a while ago. Whenever why is there a trope where we're a tag team or a partnership, they always end up turning, one has to turn heel, and I always use that example of Ryback and Kurt Axel. Whenever Ryback wanted to go back and, be a singles wrestler, and he was like, well, I just want to be a singles wrestler again. And there was no ill will on each other. They just, it was just basically like, hey, I just want to, be a singles wrestler again. I hope that's the case with Mello and Trick. Hopefully there's no bullshit shenanigans behind it.
Yeah. No, I get you. I like that too, because I like Trick. I think Trick is somebody that can be a star. He could probably be a bigger star than Mello on the main roster because he has the look, he has the talent, and he can talk. So I like the idea of Trick not doing the traditional, oh, I'm turning on you because it should be me, not you. Like, he's more just like, listen, I kind of. It also I think what works with it is that it seems genuine. It seems like something in real life where it's just like, I'm happy for you, man, but I want to be my own man. I want to be a star on my own and not just be known as, your sidekick. And, Mello was cool. So I like that because it seems like a real thing someone would say.
Yeah, it seems more realistic. Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? It wouldn't make sense if, like, I don't know, like me and RJ got into a fight and RJ was just like, I gotta be my own man, fuck you, and then he hits me with a steel chair. Like, no, that wouldn't make any sense. Don't hit me with a steel chair, RJ, please.
A steel chair is not even my weapon of choice. I'm a lead pipe guy, like Scott Steiner.
You just come in with a tiger.
Tiger, yeah, there you go.
I just remember Lance Storm. He would go up to Scott Steiner and be like, Scotty, why do you need a lead pipe? You're already like intimidating it enough. Man.
It was a good weapon of choice.
Oh man, but
cost more damage. And people be like, oh my god, he just did it.
Yeah, that's kind of like what was it, Fatboy Slim? What was that song called? Weapon of Choice.
Oh yeah, with Christopher Walken. Don't be alarmed by the sound of my voice. So NXT Great American Bash. What would be your overall grade, guys?
Overall show, let's say 7.5.
All right, that's fair.
7.5, 8.
Yeah, I'd go with 8.
I go with 8 too. The main event was just fucking awesome.
It was more good than bad on this show, and even the bad was fixable, but not just not downright egregious, So yeah, I'd say 8 out of 10.
All right,
I thoroughly enjoyed it.
All right, let's end it with SummerSlam predictions. It's already about to be midnight, so let's try to go as fast as we can.
It's already midnight here.
Oh God, my bad. So, all right,
it's all good.
SummerSlam is this Saturday, August 5th, in the Ford Field in Detroit, Michigan. There are 8 matches announced so far. Let's see. There is the SmackDown Battle Royal. So far, the participants announced: LA Knight, Sheamus, Tommaso Ciampa, Nakamura, Otis, and Chad Gable. I mean, you would think they would let LA Knight win, but who knows? You guys have any picks?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
It does.
Why is LA Knight? Why is LA Knight in something like this?
Yeah, well, I mean, what is this for? If this is just a battle,
right? Exactly. Like, what is this for? What's the point of it? Do you get a title shot? Do you like? I don't care if LA Knight wins. Great, but like, who cares?
Yeah, who cares?
Like, let's stop. I hate the fake, like people just blindly, liking fake accolades. Oh, LA Knight wins. Great. Okay, great. Like, well, okay, what's this dude? Is he gonna get a title shot? Is something big gonna happen here? Like, what the fuck, man?
Oh, this should be a pre-show match. Like, this shouldn't be on the main show. I'm assuming it's gonna be a pre-show match, but who knows? Ronda Rousey versus Shayna Baszler in an MMA rules match.
Tell you one thing, the video package got me interested.
Yeah, the video package was good. That I can
earlier.
And remember, I'm sorry, but remember too, Drew, what I said last week. I said maybe they should have them just spar, do some MMA sparring. So we may get to see that.
So the rules of a MMA match, the professional wrestling version of a mixed martial arts match under standard MMA. As an MMA, pinfalls are not a valid method of victory. Matches can be typically won by knockout, submission, DQ, forfeit, or going by a referee's decision. So that's the rules. But
what they should do? They should also have the Herb Dean there too. That'd be cool.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm left this shit.
But RJ, go ahead.
Yeah, man. I'm kind of into wanting to see this match. I like Shayna Baszler. So, yeah, I kind of want to see what she does in this. I think Ronda Rousey loses. I think Shayna Baszler wins, especially if Ronda Rousey's going out. Then she should go out in a bang, but she should lose to her best friend. Put her best friend over on the way out.
Right. I mean, Shayna needs this rub a lot more than Ronda. And Ronda clearly doesn't really give two fucks. I mean, I don't want to say doesn't give a fuck about this match, obviously, but like what's it going to do to Ronda if she, does the job for Shayna? I mean,
so at the end of the day, I still don't give a fuck about this match whatsoever. Yeah. But I'm glad that they are using a better gimmick, and a gimmick that does make sense for what they are. Former UFC fighters.
Right. I mean, it could be fun. You never know, but we'll see. But yeah, Shayna, we're going for Shayna on this, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, Shayna will win.
Next is Intercontinental title match, singles. Gunther defending against Drew McIntyre.
We just had a match of the year contender. This could be another match of the year contender.
I agree.
That'd be kind of crazy to think about. Where it's like at Mania they just had a match of the year candidate, and now the same two or three guys are about to have another match of the year candidate.
No, it's not crazy.
Well, no, I don't mean crazy in a bad way. More just like crazy. Like, didn't they? It's like they just had a match of the year. Now they have another match.
Yeah,
of the year, what I mean? But
but to me, it's not crazy at all because these guys are fucking prime professional wrestlers. A lot of people are pushing Drew McIntyre to win, and I'm asking why. Why would you take the title of Gunther this close to him breaking the record? It's the same thing. It's the same thing I said about Roman Reigns. Like, why would we take the title off Roman Reigns when he's this close to 1,000 days?
You don't do it.
You don't do it. And you know how WWE, again, I keep mentioning this until you guys get it through your thick heads. WWE likes to tout records being broken. Like, this is they love to do it. This one here's legitimate because this is to me, in my lifetime, the best Intercontinental Championship reign I've ever seen. In my lifetime. So this is just just he's one victory away from history because he ain't gonna lose it between now and then. And if to me, with Ilya Dragunov being done, I can see him coming to the main roster. I don't see he's done with NXT because Trick has some issues with Ilya, but perhaps maybe Ilya comes up. I will like for him to join Imperium, be a fourth member temporarily for a few months, then have Ilya versus Gunther maybe at Mania, and from there have fucking or. If it's not Mania, maybe like somewhere like at, Survivor Series or maybe even Royal Rumble, have lose it there, or have like Gunther do like double duty and win the Royal Rumble, do something crazy. I don't know, but at the end of the day, though, man, this match here has another potential match of the year being written all over it. You know what I mean?
Hold on. I want to touch on that just now. that you just said. Imagine how that's the true definition of losing, but you're winning all in one night. Gunther has a match of the night performance with Dragunov, gets that teetotal shit beat out of him, and he's gonna beat the teetotal shit out of Dragunov, right?
Yeah.
But then comes back and he wins the Royal Rumble after all that.
Yep.
Ah, my nigga, like he's gonna be wrestler of the fucking year already.
Yeah, well, yeah. Right now, he's my wrestler of the year. Right now, Gunther, he's my wrestler of the year. I mean, if Ilya was on the main roster doing the same shit, I mean, that would be like a very close, like it'll be super close on who would be my wrestler of the year. But yeah, man, Gunther is amazing. Been knowing about this for years already. I'm just finally now glad that Walter from fucking Progress, the guy that was beating the shit out of people in Progress, is still the same guy now as Gunther.
Yeah.
So it's just
changed the weight loss in the name, and
the only thing that's changed is the weight loss in the girlfriend.
Yeah, and it don't mean shit if he ain't winning anything.
Yep.
Which he is. He's fucking on a great streak right now, and I'm happy for him. Poor Walter, like Drew said.
So
Poor Walter, indeed.
So Gunther just made history as being the first pro wrestler to be featured on the front page of Austria's #1 newspaper.
Would you look at that?
Oh, man, that's not saying much though. It's fucking Austria.
I mean, it's still big for him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's big for him. Yeah, of course, but it's like
I mean, that'd be like if we were featured on the cover of San Antonio Express News. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, but we wouldn't be the first of anything there, so it'll just be
or you
doing and a black guy.
or take me out of the question because I hate talking about me. But like, I'd be like if Justin, you were featured on the cover of San Antonio Express News.
Oh yeah, well, you know what, Drew, that's my goal. My goal is to be on the front of the newspaper, and hopefully it's not a murder.
Right. Good
Whatever.
Lord.
I mean,
I tell you what.
I'm sorry. Justin Davidson, like I'm on front of the Express News, and it just has my name there. It's all like, he just assaulted Dirk Nowitzki. Piece of shit.
Or it says Justin murders that pussy.
Oh God.
He just murders Lola Vice's pussy.
I'll tell you what. I'm on Instagram right now, which is probably a dangerous thing. But Nikita Lyons is with all these kids, right?
Mm-hmm.
At one of the schools for the WWE community stuff that they do down in Florida.
Yeah.
And if that little boy knew how lucky ass just jiggling around him, oh my God, he would know that was a moment of a lifetime.
Speaking of lucky too, I forgot to mention earlier, but I just had an epiphany. Guess who Carmelo Hayes is dating?
Who?
Carmelo Hayes is dating Kalani Jordan. I forgot to mention that.
Oh my God, my man's getting the splits.
He's a lucky son of a bitch.
And Channing Stacks Lorenzo's dating Ariana Grace.
I mean, if I were 10 years younger, I would definitely do whatever the fuck I can to get down to Full Sail.
Me too.
Not full Sail, but the PC, and become like a referee or some shit, man. Because these niggas down in NXT, they are horny, bro. They seem like they're so horny, bro. Like, good God, man.
There's some good looking women down there.
Like you, I guarantee you, Trick and Lola has. I guarantee you. Okay, probably not, but
As somebody, me and Trick are from like the same area.
Yeah.
So like, knowing how South Carolinian boys are, yeah, trust me, he's probably trying to tap that ass.
I know it. I know it. I already know it. Like, I just know niggas. I know niggas. I know what they like. Like, I know it.
Lil Levi gonna give me a piece of that hair tonight.
He just appears out of the corner.
That's all gonna be.
He just appears out of the corner doing the Birdman hand rub.
Lil Levi gonna give me some of that pie tonight. Shit, Willie.
Some of that sweet potato pie. But good for Gunther. September 8th is when he should be passing Honky Tonk Man for the longest reign as the Intercontinental Champion. So September 8th is coming pretty soon.
Yeah. It's coming.
So this should be it should be a really good match, and Gunther's gonna win. Which I wouldn't be surprised if they decide to stretch this feud out just until then.
Yeah. I think there'll be some shenanigans involved. I think Vinci will finally prove himself in Gunther's eyes and fucking do something, and Gunther to take advantage and win. That's what I'm thinking, because they've been doing the whole thing where he's been pretty much putting the Imperium guys on trial for losing and failing. So I think Vinci might, redeem himself, because Kaiser redeemed himself kind of in Gunther's eyes Monday. So I'm thinking, it's Vinci's turn to kind of redeem himself. So I think he'll do something and get that redemption.
All right. Next match, Logan Paul versus Ricochet, singles match.
Should be really, really good.
Should be a fun one.
Yeah, should be fun. My thing is, who could use the win here? I'd say Logan Paul, because look, they paying him a lot of money, and you gotta really, really use your investment. And I think you really have to do something with this guy. No, it doesn't have to be it for Ricochet. You could do something where Logan Paul cheats to beat him, and then Ricochet can pine for a rematch for months and finally get to that. I don't know, maybe the big India show that they took in just announced yesterday, or Survivor Series. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can have a March match. Payback fits the fucking tone. Like, I don't know. Like, you can do a rematch.
Why not?
So I'm thinking Logan Paul cheats to win. You can do more out of it, and I think it's fun. And I think those two guys like working with each other.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a really fun match, and they've built this up since Royal Rumble, technically.
Yeah.
I'll say this, and I said it many times when this match wasn't announced, but when I knew this match was going to happen. The only reason why this match is happening is so Logan Paul can get a win.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's the only reason why this match is happening. With that being said, it's going to be a good match. It's going to be a very good match. But Logan Paul's winning. He needs a win. Hasn't had a win in a long, long fucking time. He signed a new contract with WWE. Ricochet's going to look good. He's on 1 of 8 matches on the card, and he's not in the Battle Royal. So Ricochet, he has a big win here for that alone. So, yeah, man, happy for both guys, man. And hopefully this is a very, very good match.
All right. Let's see. Triple threat for the WWE Women's Championship. Asuka, Charlotte Flair, Bianca. Asuka, I really don't care about this match, honestly.
Yeah, it's kind of the same old. I think Charlotte and Bianca are being into each other so much, Asuka's going to escape with the win. That's my prediction. And that's what I'm going with.
Asuka's going to win. Yeah, Asuka's going to win. Again, I just bitched about AEW's women's division, WWE's women's division. You're not, you're definitely not getting away with this shit. So, your division sucks too. So, not as bad as AEW's, but it still sucks.
Yeah, because you got Rhea, who's like, hot, like, figuratively and literally, and she's not even on the show.
I think there was some, how should I say, unforeseen circumstances with that.
Yeah, true.
I think there were some unforeseen circumstances with that. So,
plus, did you really need to stuff the show like that?
Now, one thing I'm very happy about, but still kind of shocked at the same time, is that Becky and Trish ain't gonna be on the fucking card. I'm super happy about that.
Trish is still selling the nose thing, right?
Yeah, I don't fucking know.
Yeah, because I've seen everybody bitching on, but maybe they requested to have the match in Canada. Trish is from Canada. Maybe she wanted to wrestle Becky in Canada. Like, we don't know why. That's why people should shut the fuck up and analyze shit. Like you said earlier, Justin, you like to analyze. A lot of people need to take that step too, instead of just bitching just for clicks and shit.
It's too hard for them.
Yeah, it is too hard. People want to be seen.
It's too hard for them when it comes to shit like that. But I don't care that this match ain't on the card. But as far as Asuka, Charlotte, and Bianca Belair, Asuka's gonna win, and I don't really see any shenanigans coming out of it. It's just now. I don't care about this match, but it should be a good match. I mean, you got 3 very quality women in there. Should be a very good match, but I just don't care about it.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, that's kind of been the story with, like, because, like, the Becky and Trish match from, I forget which pay-per-view it was, where I think we were all agreeing, like, you know, we don't really care about the match because the build-up was piss poor. And then the match ended up being, like, really fucking good. So, There's no doubt that this match will be good. It's just, you know, the build-up is just like who cares?
Getting there is just like, it's not desirable.
All right. Next is World Heavyweight Championship singles match: Seth freaking Rollins versus Finn Balor.
Oh boy. Shit. There's a lot of factors that play into this fucking match, bro.
Oh yeah.
Between Seth Rollins coming out and telling us some, you know, my body's beat up. I want to put the championship on the map, this, that, and the other. You couple that with the fact that WWE has a good story with the Finn Balor stuff. Even though I kind of agree with Don Tony and Kevin Cass. We're supposed to ignore all the success Finn Balor's had after that incident. That he's been living in misery all this time. But, all right, we can go ahead and dismiss that. But, yeah, like I get it. You know, he hasn't been in main event status since that moment in time, so I get it. And I like the premise of that. That's cool. Then you got Damian Priest with the Money in the Bank, too. What the hell is he going to do? So, man, that's a lot of factors, and that makes for great drama. However, I think Seth Rollins wins, and Damian Priest cashes in and wins.
I think the opposite. I think Finn Balor wins, and Damian Priest cashes in. Now, let me take that back. Finn Balor's gonna win. I think he's gonna win, but I think they may end up teasing that cash in maybe late for later, and him cash in later. If Damian Priest cashes in and wins the title immediately, then, you know, I'm not gonna complain, because the whole thing with the story with Finn Balor is that he's insists, like, with having this title back, that he never lost in the first place. He never lost that belt in the first place, and it was due to an injury made by Seth Rollins at SummerSlam. I think the bigger story there is with Finn winning and having Damian cash in. If Finn loses, then the Judgment Day, as we know, is going to break up because everyone's going to have something in Judgment Day but Finn. And I explained last week to Drew, I think that's the only reason why they put the title on Dom in the first place.
Let me ask you something.
It's because of this story here. Right. With Finn Balor. So
let me ask you something. So let's say Finn wins, and you know, instead of Damian just immediately cashing in then and there, because I was just thinking about this while you guys were talking. So what if they do the Evolution bit with Randy Orton, where they're all celebrating in the ring and they seem like they're happy, and then Damian does the down, and then they just beat the everling piss out of Finn, and that's when Damian cashes in. Yeah, I mean, like,
Finn Balor's the babyface again.
Yeah, you can do that, or you can do it with Damian, because, you know, Damian's over.
Yeah, I think
that doesn't work. That doesn't work because that means in a sense Dom's gonna turn babyface, and when he's like one of the most hated people on the roster, and like, nah, I don't see that. I mean, if that does happen, then that means Finn Balor has to turn babyface.
So realistically, what would happen as a way of breaking up the Judgment Day? Like, who gets kicked out first?
It's either that Finn wins the title, then, you know, he ends up being so he'll be like so scared of the fact that Damian may cash in on him, like he'll beat his ass and kick him out, or what's gonna happen is that Damian, he just leaves on his own after cashing in on Finn Balor.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
I think he's one of the key factors to as far as he's a guy that I can see breaking away from Judgment Day and being a babyface in the process.
Now
I'm gonna, and the company's high on him too. So I can very well see that.
Puppy's high on him,
Yeah.
but Cubby's high on him, and I asked this question I think a couple weeks ago too as well. Damian Priest wins. He takes off Finn Balor or whatever, right? But Damian Priest ends up winning the title. Do you think that he can carry that load as world champion and because he'll be the number one guy? He's gonna be the number one guy on the flagship show, Monday Night Raw. Is he gonna be that number one guy? I hope he can do it. Because I really like him. It's just to me, I just don't see it. I really don't see it happening unless because you gotta think about Cody's on the roster, Brock's there, and you got all these other guys set that all these other guys they may carry the load for Damian at that point in time. So maybe it can work, but
you don't know if you don't give him a chance.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right.
And another factor is that he's also 40, so it's like if you're gonna put him in that spot, you might as well do it right now.
You got to do it now. There's no waiting. You got to do it now.
Well, they made their decision. They made their decision at Money in the Bank, so they're gonna go with it. It's happening.
Right.
It's gonna happen. It's just
I mean, another question I have is who let's say he does cash in, why does he automatically have to go on his own? Is he just can he just be a champion with Judgment Day, or how is that gonna work?
Finn's gonna be jealous. The whole story is Finn Balor is going to be jealous, and eventually that he's gonna either Finn leaves Judgment Day by himself, or Finn's gonna beat the holy fucking shit out of him. So the storyline is Finn Balor again losing the title that he never lost, and he's so enraged that he's gonna become jealous of everybody. Rhea has a title, Dom has a title. Damien just took the title from me. Or he took title, or from Seth, the title that I wanted. Nah, that's not gonna
right from underneath my fucking nose.
Yeah, that's not gonna end well. There's no way that they're gonna all be cordial, or at least Finn and Damien's gonna be cordial if Damien's the champion. No, there's no way.
Let me revise my question. I'm sorry.
With those jealousy traits, Finn can't be a babyface in this situation. You just can't.
Let me revise my question. So, scenario, let's say Finn wins, and then, or not Finn, actually, let's say Finn loses again, but Damien's able to successfully cash on Seth, or maybe mid-match, whatever. Either way, right. Damien becomes champ, and, how does that go about, like you just said, Finn just loses it and gets jealous and tries to beat the shit out of Damien? How does that exactly happen? Does that happen the next night on Raw? Does that gradually build up, or what is that?
It can happen the next night on Raw. I think you need to have a little, maybe a week or two, right, of some type of story there with that. I mean, the story's there already, but going to the next step into the story, I think maybe a week or two, right? Next time Raw, I'm not gonna complain about, but yeah, no, there's gonna that jealousy factor there is really gonna be at the high point if Damien's champion and Finn's not.
Because it almost seems like Rhea and Dom would be pro Damien, they'd be on his side more than Finn. But
what will make you think that?
Just kind of their body language, because I don't know, I just get a sense of it, because Finn is always Finn will go through these droughts of not being at the show, and he would just show up at the last second. So I would think that Rhea would get pissed off at Finn is like, I don't want to deal with your shit anymore. Because in the beginning, you weren't even part of this group. It was just me and Damien. And then you decided to creep in. Like, it could be like that. Of like, it started with me and Damien.
I don't see that, to be honest.
You know, it started with me and Damien, and then you came in. So, I don't know. It's midnight, so I don't know what the fuck I'm saying. But
yeah, but now I don't know. Like, anything can really happen, honestly. And if they believe in Judgment Day's popularity, even though they're weird, maybe turn them babyface. Maybe Finn Balor starts his own group with JD McDonough, which I know he's dying to work with.
Yeah.
And somebody else. I don't know. Maybe Bronson Reed could be his new bouncer.
I just can't see if they're turning. Let's say they turn Damian face. I can't see a face Damian Priest world champion in Judgment Day because that means you got to turn Dom and Rhea heel. You don't turn those two heel right now.
You mean face?
You don't.
Or face. I say heel.
Yeah.
I just realized, but you don't turn those two face right now.
No, you don't.
You don't. You don't turn them. I don't give a fuck. Whatever you do not turn them babyface. I don't care what it is.
I mean, you can still keep them together without having to be in the Judgment Day. Rhea and Dom, you can still keep them together.
So the Judgment Day just breaks up completely.
The thing is, I don't want them to, but I think eventually that's kind of where it's leading.
Well, yeah, it's gonna happen, but like you have to have it make sense. Like, how are they gonna explain that? It's just gonna be like, well, Finn, Finn turned on Damien, or Damien cashed in on. Well, like we don't want no more part of this. Like, it's kind of weird. Like, they're a huge merch seller right now as the Judgment Day. You know what I mean? They're bringing them down to NXT as the Judgment Day. They can survive with 3 members, wherever that 3-member combination is going to be. I just rather it be Finn, Rhea, and Dom as heels because Finn's doing his best work in WWE right now as a heel. He's reminding me of Lob New Japan, Finn Balor.
Yep, rock and roller.
Yeah. The real rock and roller.
Yeah,
the real. But
I put up the bouncer, man.
Yeah, oh yeah. Well, okay, Balor. Okay. I got you now. I got you.
Yeah,
but
that'd be dope.
Yeah, it would be. But again, just this whole scenario. I mean, the fact that we were going through different scenarios is telling us that it's not predictable, which is great. It's fantastic.
Yeah,
we haven't even gotten to the final 2 matches of the fucking card. Like Jesus. Oh man. But we can do like a whole hour on this shit. But
but Judgment Day, I mean, there's a lot of interest there. There's a lot of drama to be had, and that's a good thing because whatever happens here at SummerSlam is going to carry is going to at least carry the program into the next few months, which is cool.
The Survivor Series for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. So that's going to be something to look forward to. I just got a sneaking suspicion that we're going to have a new world champion, whether it's Finn, whether it's Priest. I think we get a new world champion.
Or it can be both. It definitely can be both.
It definitely can be both.
Yeah, SummerSlam's going to be full of surprises.
Oh yeah.
Next. Damn, we got 2 more matches.
They're going to wheel Vince McMahon out there.
Oh, God. Next is Cody Rhodes versus Brock Lesnar Part 3 in a singles match.
No stipulation. That's wild to me, man. That's wild.
Well, I mean, Brock never explained why he attacked Cody anyway, so I don't give a shit about this match. I don't care.
I hope it's a thing where at the end of it all, they finally, I wanted you to be better or something. I hope there's a rhyme or reason to this. Cody, come on, man. Cody, especially the way Cody Rhodes matched shit out, there has to be some type of explanation. At the end.
I said this. Cody has lost momentum, bro. He's lost momentum, not with the fans. Fans still love him. I love Cody, but he's lost momentum as far as storyline driven content, and for me to even fucking care. I don't give a fuck about this match. Cody's gonna win.
Given who he's working with, not surprised.
I mean, Cody's going to win the match. You know what I mean? And he's going to go from there. And there could be rumors of Randy Orton coming back, or maybe Bray Wyatt and whatever. But I will say this: if there is a surprise that comes back, let's say it's Bray Wyatt that comes back, and let's say he makes Cody lose, then Brock's going to win. But if there's no Bray Wyatt or no Randy Orton or anything like that, then Cody's going to win. But to me, at the end of the day, though, it's a big marquee match, right? I don't give a flying fuck about this match. I don't care.
Yeah, there's no reason here.
There's no there. And people say, there's heat. There's no heat to this shit.
There's no heat. There's no rhyme or reason.
Right.
Nothing there.
Again, because there's no reason. Again, there was no reason why Brock Lesnar attacked Cody Rhodes in the first place. If you give me something, if you give me a hook to latch onto, to be like, okay, this is the reason why Brock attacked Cody, and this is the story behind it. Okay, I'll still probably bitch about it because this is the third fucking match. But at least there's a story behind it. There's no story. I still need to know where the story is, and I've been saying this for fucking months now. Where's the story for this shit? There's none.
Yeah, because on Monday you would have thought there would have been like some big, like, I don't know, contract signing or whatever. But no, it's just like they just shook hands and then Cody attacked him and then Brock beat him up. It's like again, So just, I don't know, maybe hopefully we can find something out on Monday where like they have like a, I guess, a respectful handshake, and Cody's like, does the Rocky 2 with Thunder Lips thing. Hey, why'd you get all crazy back there? And then Brock just goes, it's all part of the game. In other words, I just want to see what you're made of, hopefully, but I don't know. I'm kind of with you, Justin, where it's just like, as far as making me care about the story, Cody is kind of waning my interest.
I told you.
Not to say that I don't look forward to Cody match. I look forward to anything Cody's in.
Yeah,
it's just like
exactly.
Like this match.
There's a difference between losing momentum with the fans and like you sound stupid on TV. He's still cutting great promos out there. It's just the reason behind it, and it's like, okay, you're cutting a promo, sounds good, but what's the reason for it?
It's a very one-sided feud. It's a very one-sided feud, and it's just like, on paper it sounds great because like you have Cody, who's the face of the company essentially, or not the face, but one of the the biggest baby face of the company.
Yeah, top 3 faces.
And then you have the biggest like box office draw in the company. And
yeah, I mean, it's just very one-sided because one guy is asking questions but just wants to fight, then the other guy is just in go mode because. Fuck, he's not saying anything. He's not talking. He's not giving any reason as to why he's doing what he's doing. It seems like just because. And it's like, whatever.
I don't know, hopefully we find out soon. But, I mean, again, Cody should win, and he will win. And then what happens after this, the rumor is that Bray might be Cody's next big opponent. R.I.P. Cody. I'm playing. But... yeah, whatever.
Hey, Cody could get something good out of Bray.
Maybe. I mean,
they got history. People forget they got history. 2 legacies. Cody Rhodes is his original pro in NXT. So there's some underlying history that they maybe can draw and drag something out of.
I agree with you. There is history there, but do you think that WWE is going to bring that up?
I think they will.
We will.
Yes. Okay. All right.
I don't know. Lately,
we didn't get not one lick of story for Brock and Cody over the last few months. I doubt that they'll bring up. Because he was his original pro.
Because Brock and Cody don't really have any history together. Because like it makes sense for Roman to bring up Dusty because he worked with Dusty, and same thing with Seth. Whereas Brock, as far as I know, Brock's never really had a connection or...
No, but what I'm saying is that... like
Brock Lesnar's not a story guy anyways. He just shows up, destroys, and smash.
True. And that's fine. But what I'm saying is that WWE, for the most part, not always, but for the most part, they refuse to acknowledge their past when it comes to certain things. They hate to draw those lines together. Vince McMahon administration. Now, if this is fully Triple H and Vince McMahon, he's in bed and he got this spinal surgery and he's like, oh, now I can't talk, whatever, I can't write, whatever the fuck it is. Wherever the fuck it is, okay, great. I trust Triple H, Paul Levesque, to give us that continuity. I don't trust Vince McMahon and fucking Bruce Pritchard and Kevin.
Bucktooth.
We were fucking done. I don't trust those guys to put us in a situation where they give us that continuity. I hope so. I hope I'm wrong. But just knowing this company's past, like, I don't see that happening.
I mean, they did it with. I mean, again, just going back to the old NXT show, the variety show, essentially. I mean, they did it with Miz and Daniel Bryan, where Miz was like, "I was your veteran. I trained you." Like they can do with like Cody can be like me and.
But that's because they actually had a feud. Even during that, like this, like
right.
When they were on NXT, Cody and Bray, it was just, hey, I'm your pro, you're the rookie or whatnot. They didn't like really feud or anything. Like that was like the main story of the first season of NXT was Daniel Bryan and The Miz and Michael Cole too.
I mean, again, I can picture Cody bringing it up though, because Cody can be like, me and Bray have a history more than I was his pro in NXT. You remember when NXT was a variety show? Like you do something like that, but.
If Cody brings up, then fine. But it's again like to me at the end of the day, like I don't trust this fucking company for shit when it comes to stories of that magnitude, at least.
I mean, essentially,
I tell you what though, you're gonna at least get something because
right.
Bray and Cody are gonna talk to each other.
Oh yeah,
Brock
for sure.
Lesnar, that's one of the problems. Brock Lesnar has not talked to Cody
Yeah.
except for whatever he told him in his ear the other night. But besides that, there hasn't been any talking. Cody's been doing the talking, and Brock Lesnar has been doing the fighting.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There's been no verbal contact back and forth, and that's what helps elevate a feud. When the guys are talking to each other, when guys have a clear issue with each other.
I mean,
that we as an audience can understand through their verbal
right.
And sometimes physical interactions. But we didn't get that here with Cody and Brock. I think at least with a Bray or at least with a Randy and Cody, it's gonna be there.
Yeah, there will be story if it's Cody and Bray. I'm not saying that there's not going to be story. There will be story. Is it going to be that right story? Are they going to talk about NXT from 2000? Bray just may be like, hey, you're Dusty's kid. They may go back to the whole Dusty thing again, which will be another debacle. But yeah, I was one of his kids too, man. Like all that shit.
You're my brothers. I think we should have a hipsters or horrors match.
Oh God!
Take me to the arena. All right, so main event. Tribal Combat for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship. And the recognition of Tribal Chief. I didn't even know about that. Roman Reigns, the champion, with Paul Heyman and Solo versus Jey Uso. A Tribal Combat match is a no disqualification match, essentially.
Yeah, that's what it is. But just to also add in there, Drew. So basically, if Jey wins, he becomes the Tribal Chief. If Roman wins, then Jey is out of the bloodline, like out of the storyline. So
yeah, I figured. But,
so
Roman apparently made an announcement that the entire Anuwa family bloodline
Hawaii?
legacy. Is that how you say it? Anuwai?
Hawaii.
Yeah, the Anuwai family will be in attendance.
Ooh.
So, and then there's the rumors that The Rock might appear at SummerSlam to confront Grayson Waller. So who knows?
I mean, if The Rock is there to confront Grayson Waller, but not Roman Reigns, that's pretty ridiculous.
I mean, they obviously can cross paths and set the stone for an eventual match, or set the table.
Mean, unless it's like a double fake out, he comes out, confronts Grayson Waller, then comes back out and confronts Roman. But I think that'll be kind of obvious at that point if that happens. So
yeah, I mean it's gonna be SummerSlam.
I don't need that match at WrestleMania though.
It doesn't. I mean, yeah, it does. It's not going to happen at Mania. It's more than. I mean, if anything, it could probably happen at Survivor Series.
Yeah, do something big for Survivor Series. Have a big marquee match for Survivor Series.
You know what they should name it. You know what the title of the match should be. It should be never. It should be never before, never again.
Yeah, exactly what it should be called.
Where have we heard that before?
But you know what? Survivor Series. Guess where it's gonna be at?
Chicago.
There you go. Yeah, fucking Tony Khan's in shambles right now.
God.
What the fuck is going on?
Oh, everyone's supposed to love me.
But he sees Michael Cole sitting in his coke pile.
Oh
God.
boy, here we go.
That's where I was storing lines.
Vintage Tony.
All right. I feel bad about that joke.
I don't. But anyways, I mean, Roman's obviously winning. I mean, it's my only worry about this match, and I mean, this is every Roman bloodline match, is that there's going to be the Gaga in every Roman match where there's going to be a lot of overacting. The ref is going to conveniently get knocked out.
It's gonna be theater.
You know, it's going to be it's basically going to be the episode of South Park where they were making fun of wrestling. So just I hope it doesn't go to that extent, but like there's going to be a convenient ref bump. Jimmy's going to come out.
Yeah, Jimmy. Yeah,
Jimmy's going to come out. Solo's going to interfere. Somebody's going to interfere. Maybe The Rock might interfere. I don't know, but I mean, Roman's obviously going to win. I mean, this could be a good match. This could be a really good match.
It's gonna be a great match. I think the chemistry between the two is going to be great. So they had great matches before, in the fucking Thunderdome. So
right, Jay is really. I mean, we talk about fucking Wes Lee being really good. Fucking Jay is really good.
Yeah, Jay got himself in some really good physical shape. Like, he looks really good. Like, he's got himself ready for this role. That's one thing people cannot take away from him. He's really trained himself for this. So
he's been ready. You know how long he's been ready for? Since day one ish.
This is day
one. Wait, hold on. I have a sound effect for that. Hold on. God damn, I should have just played it when you said it. All right, so
yeah, so Roman's winning. Yeah, Roman's definitely winning. No way, no how Jay's gonna win this match whatsoever. And I got people in my shop coming in like, you think Jay Uso's winning? I'm like, what are you like? Are you watching the show? Like, do you know what's going on? Like, Jay ain't winning, brother.
Yeah, there's no chance in hell Jay's winning. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if they stretched out until like Payback, just so they can say.
You said there's no chance.
No chance in hell.
No chance in. Like Vince never even says hell. He just makes a sound with his voice, growling.
After the match, Triple H can just wheel Vince out, and Vince is like, Jay Uso! Yeah.
What if it'd be great. So you have Survivor Series in Chicago, right? Maybe there's gonna be a War Games. They're probably gonna bring back War Games, maybe, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? You know what's gonna happen at the very end of the show?
What?
Vince is gonna come out in his wheelchair, and because of the back surgery or whatnot. And he says, look around. I'm in Chicago. You know what? I went and I bought my competition. That's right. I now own AEW.
Oh no!
In Chicago. Boo.
And then
AEW.
And then Triple H shows up on the screen. Hey Vince, on the dotted line, it said
he's in Jacksonville.
He's in Jacksonville. The ink hasn't dried, so I put some white out on your name, and I put Paul Levesque. I know
And
AEW.
then the camera pans out. He's all like, "And yeah, I'm also here as well. Me, Tony Khan."
Get out of the shot, you nerd.
Oh my god.
And him and Samoa Joe just like embrace each other in the ring.
Welcome home.
Welcome home.
Welcome home, son.
Just embrace each other, just tears of joy, and then all of a sudden you see Sonny kiss just in the background, and Triple H just says, "I'm gonna make you and Chris Elliott tag."
The new Rainbow Express. Oh my god.
It's gonna be like It's gonna be like the scene in Forrest Gump where Forrest gives like a speech.
Yeah, the team is gonna call. You're gonna be the new TNA tits and ass.
Oh my god. Oh Jesus.
Oh god, it's gonna be like the scene in Forrest Gump where he's giving the speech in front of the Washington Monument, and you just hear Jenny yell Forrest instead of Joe yelling Hunter, and they just like run out and hug each other. Oh man. So anyways, Roman's winning this.
Yeah, without a doubt. I think all of us are in agreement on that.
And then I mean, again, Payback. I wouldn't be surprised if they stretched it out till Payback.
I think they could do Jay and Solo at Payback. I just got this feeling.
I think Solo's probably gonna be the one to help Roman here.
Yeah, probably.
Or it's gonna be like indirect help where like Solo comes out, then Jimmy comes out, then then some bullshit happens. So
yeah, because Solo's gonna do all this not because he wants to protect Roman, it's because Solo wants to be Tribal Chief himself. That's what we're gonna find out within the next months. And I wouldn't be surprised, like if Kevin Castle said, I wouldn't be surprised if all this ends up with a fatal four between all four. Honestly.
No, yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Solo the Samoan Savage. Sounds familiar.
Kill Matt Riddle. I'll never forget that. That's holy shit. That's a calm down, bro. He fucking killed him, bro.
Again. Ever since you said that that Solo reminds you of you, I'm like, now I can't unsee it.
Roman, I'm gonna beat your punk ass.
So,
Solo do talk. He kind of like me and him kind of trash talk the same too. So
just imagine what happens when you're watching Raw, or not Raw, but SmackDown. All of a sudden he calls himself the Samoan Savage. You're like, fuck.
Oh, I'm gonna do like Leonardo DiCaprio. Oh shit, that's me. The fucking. Oh man, look at this motherfucker.
Love it. But that's the show, ladies and gentlemen. It's 12:36 in the morning. We did 3 hours and 42 minutes. Jesus Christ! So you got your money's worth tonight. You got something, but it was an awesome show. Thank you for you boys showing up. Ruben, if you're listening, hope you're doing all right. Thank you for coming in. Justin, as always, great show.
always, baby.
Always, baby. It's a great show, baby. RJ, man, of course, thank you for coming through. It's fun as always.
Sure.
But yeah, the Q&A, we're only doing one Q&A this month, and it's going to be next Saturday. So anyone listening, if you already have questions, send as many as you can. I think we're probably just going to stick to just doing one Q&A a month, just so we can get as many questions as we can in. Because when we were doing two, it kind of became I wouldn't say a problem, but it's like when we did two, it's like we weren't getting as many questions. So we're only doing one just so we can get as many questions as we can.
Mm-hmm.
And just send as many as you can in. Make it fun. But, yeah. Enjoy SummerSlam, guys. And we'll see you next week. Same time, same channel. And, of course, the Q&A is next week. But, good night, guys. God bless. I'm glad I am off tomorrow. Or it's already tomorrow, but I'm glad I'm off. And take care. Peace.
Peace. Catch you
Peace
guys later.
out.